How should I wash my dress? You should use a delicate cold cycle. Do I just put it in? Remember to turn it inside out to protect the sequins. Can I put it in the dryer?
Good.
The icon on the tag says no. Oh, thank goodness I asked. I just saved it.
Regrets, birthdays, or just Tuesdays, DJ's $13 Pizookie meal deal is something to celebrate. With 8 great brewhouse entrees, plus a free personal Pizookie dessert. Just $13. That's cost for celebration. The BJ's way.
More summer, more roads to roam. Grab the keys to a new Toyota. No limits, just the rush that was ahead. Adventure calls, you answer. Get behind the wheel and take on summer's hot.
Well, it looks like Angel and them caught it past Merced. Just passed through Merced 12 minutes ago.
Let's go places.
Whoa, this Xfinity Wi-Fi is smooth.
Hey, honey, how's the Wi-Fi? It's booming.
Kids, booming.
Booming!
Streaming peace. It's the building.
Hey, oil guy!
Boom.
All right, we're good. All right. What's going on, everybody? Chase fan number 9 here. Welcome to another live stream. Or this evening, it is IndyCar on Fox Prime Time from Worldwide Technology Raceway, also known as Gateway. We're across the way from the St. Louis Arc. It should be a good night or good race tonight. Obviously, this is only the second oval race of the season for IndyCar. And, yeah, it's going to be... Let's see how Alex Palou fares tonight. But he's going to have to deal with Will Power because he is on the pole for tonight. It's nice to see Will Power get another pole for himself. And I can't believe he's already at 71 career poles. Wish he had that many career wins, but it is what it is. Hello, Jay the Rail Fanner. Welcome to the live stream. Anyways, here's the... Oh, what the... Anyways, here's the starting grid for tonight. Yes, I'll be live next week. Anyways, here's the starting grid for tonight. Will Power will start on pole. Scott McLaughlin will start second, so it's a Penske front row lockout. Pato O'Ward will start third. David Malukas, wow. He's carrying on the momentum from the Indy 500 with the 4th place qualifying start. And Joseph Newgarden starts 5th. Yes, he needs a good qualifying run, and he definitely got it. Both the Meyer Shank cars are starting right behind him. And Alex Palou and Kyle Kirkwood are only 2 winners from this year, are starting 9th and 10th. Christian Lundgaard, got to keep an eye on him. He could be strong. Also, look for Santino Ferrucci, who was strong last time IndyCar race, which was at Detroit. Also, look out for Nolan Siegel and Graham Rahal. Robert Schwartzman, he's starting 24th. And Rasmussen and Kevin Simpson start back there. Yeah, I'll be live Friday through Sunday. My streams will be up towards the latter end of this week.
It was a huge moment that revealed just how angry everybody was that got caught up in the incident. So tonight, expect exactly the same thing.
I think it's going to be 260 laps tonight.
IndyCar, it doesn't get any better than this. It really doesn't. And I love coming racing here because you've got to be aggressive. You've got to get your elbows out to make moves here. I've already got my eye on one driver in particular. That's young David Malukas for AJ Foyt Racing. Fresh off the second place of the Indy 500. He qualified on the second row here. But this is statistically his best racetrack. First two career podiums were here. And that doesn't even include last year when he was fighting for the win late in the race with willpower.
Oh, nice. Spirit of Birmingham.
Got a little bit high, led to contact, led to a DNF, but he knows how to get it done around here. He's so confident. He's starting up front. I think you could see a first career win for David Malukas here tonight. That's up for you guys. We can wait for the race and of course. Down on pit lane, bring you all the latest news from down that Georgia Heritage.
Oh wow, you got double heritage units this week. Spirit of Baltimore, Birmingham, and the Baltimore and Ohio.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching that highlight. You told me you were gonna hype me up for a second to see myself crashing. I don't know what they were saying over there. By the way, John said, "Oh wow, that's a nice suit." All for you guys. You guys dressed up real good. Wherever they are, up there, up top. You guys looking good. What was the question? We're gonna be.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, I already came back from a little roughing adventure, and yeah, by the time I went out, the engine was still far out. I wish I could catch it because I've never caught CSX Heritage or Special Interest Unit, but the thing is, look, I'm burnt out from a long day, and the heat was kind of draining, so yeah, it's a no for me. If I was living out there, if I had lived out there in Escalon and all that, then hey, that's completely totally fine.
Picking that up off that already. Are we going to see the big undercut strategy from ECR tonight? Who knows, man?
I mean, the engine looks cool, but yeah.
Give us snippet. Absolutely not. People are watching. It's the truth. Thanks, guys. Have a good race. I think it's a tiny bit annoying about this grid. It's super far away from each other. And a lot of the drivers are already getting in their car. One thing that was really interesting about Road 5, though, the only people who have won a race this year, starting on Road 5, Kyle Kirkwood is one of those drivers. How you feeling tonight, bud?
So you've gotten videos of it at two different spots, Deschler and Blue Eye. Nice.
Keep control of all the people that we were hoping to talk to bring you this great info from. They're all getting in the car. We're going to keep rolling past. See Colin Hers on the other side. Give him a wave. Felix Rosenquist hanging out over there. Been absolutely flying. The whole MSR team have been absolutely flying all weekend. I'm looking ahead, and honestly, it looks like everybody is kind of in their cars. Well, Joseph Newgarden, we're just about to walk past. He won here last year. Last time he won, let me give him a quick thumbs up and say how's it. You good? Feeling good for today? 2 thumbs up. Well, guys, wish the grid walk had been a little bit more exciting for everybody. The race is coming up next. We can't wait to see what happens.
Did y'all eat all the Reese's cups or something?
Maybe Grandma did something with it.
Americans, we can do anything we want, except one thing. We just can't stop being American. We're body slams and blue suede shoes, rock and roll, jazz and blues, rockin' mullets and rat pack suits, even our grandmas have tattoos. So get out there, take your swing, rev your engines and let freedom ring, and never, ever.
Oh yeah, I found it. The Blue Island rail camera you're talking about.
Nothing stops America, and nothing stops Ram.
With new mix and gold mashup plus dip strawberry cheesecake, the new DQ summer.
You gotta go. All right. No, I haven't gotten 340.
Try the new DQ summer blizzard menu because nothing says summer like baseball and blizzard treats. Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kind of everything. Stay 3 nights this summer at Best Western and get $50 off a future stay.
At Mothers, we're driven by the same passions you are, fueled by more than 50 years of purpose and innovation. We're
Oh,
driven
so I see you've been under the weather lately.
by the shine, the personal style,
Yep, we've all been there.
At the convention.
Well, hope you get better.
We're driven to scrub away the ordinary, to reveal the pristine, because no matter what we drive or what drives us, we're driven.
That's all I can
to
say.
take care of it. Give it that
We also
mother's
get
love.
get plenty of rest. Make sure you hydrate and don't overwork. And also, it's best not to overwork your body when you're sick because you don't want to. You just don't want to make it worse.
Melty, cheesy, flaky, toasty. Lunch just got croissant-tastic.
One thing I forgot about Monte Vista Avenue in Turlock Mountain is that one of the median signals there was replaced because a driver crashed into the old one. Yeah, I did acknowledge it when we passed by there.
100 Days to Indy. Stream every episode now on Fox Nation. The U.S. faces one of America's best. Looking at pro baseball on the world's biggest stage.
I think 3194 is already at Turlock now.
The Gold Cup on FS1.
So much going on in St. Louis, not just IndyCar racing. Of course, the National Blues Museum is here. Several musicians, including Mark Davis and Chuck Berry, notable sports people, Tim Jacko Person.
Yogi Berra was from St. Louis.
Cannot be in St. Louis without mentioning the Cardinals' 11th World Series title. But today and tonight, it's all about the 27th drive for the NTT IndyCar Series. So let's take a look at the Bommarito Automotive Group 500 starting grid.
I'm Jake Nagel from Louisville, Kentucky. Hi, I'm Kevin Simpson from the Cayman Islands. Christian Rasmussen. I'm from Copenhagen, Denmark. Robert Schwarzman. Born in Israel, Tel Aviv. Stingray Rob. Here in Idaho. Graham Regal, Columbus, Ohio. Louis Falstaff, Podium, England. Nolan Siegel, Palo Alto, California.
Santino Ferrucci, Woodbury, Connecticut.
Ruben BK, Elsdorf, the Netherlands.
Devon De Francesco, Toronto, Ontario.
Colorado. Cambridge, UK.
Connor Daly from Noblesville, Indiana.
I'm Christian Lundgaard from Viola, Denmark. Marcus Ericsson, Gola, Sweden. Alexander Rossi from Nevada City, California.
Yeah.
Scott Dixon, driver for the number 9 PT Band Conduct from Auckland, New Zealand. I'm Kyle Kirkwood from Jupiter, Florida.
Hello, I'm Alex Palou. I'm from Barcelona, Spain.
I'm Colin Herta from Valencia, California. Felix Rosenquist, Värnamo, Sweden. Marcus Armstrong, Christchurch, New Zealand. Joseph Newgarden, Nashville, Tennessee. I'm Dana Lucas, grown up in Chicago, Illinois. Ponto Award, Monterrey, Mexico. Scott McLaughlin, Christchurch, New Zealand. Will Power, Walker, Queensland, Australia.
And that is your starting grid. When we return, we'll get to see the race under the lights in St. Louis.
There's a place no map will show you. A secret spot. A high-performance hideout for cars that crave chaos. Through breaks,
So you had that IndyCar driver Kiffin Simpson. Just think he's from this island, the Cayman Islands, which are off the coast of Cuba.
Look like fun? It is. You in? Glass flare.
Oh, yeah. Anytime's the perfect time for an Oscar Mayer win.
No way!
I don't trust this anymore.
Have you had your Hershey?
Rinse Secret Service on New Wednesdays on Fox.
Congrats.
The Cayman Islands are a British territory, or British overseas territory, that is.
Just $13. That's cost for celebration. The BJ's way. I see it. I like it.
With Chase, you can get a debit card for your kids' independence. And parental notifications, so you can keep an eye on how they're using it. Still on budget. Control for parents, freedom for kids. That's family banking from Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Take a look. When this all-electric SUV goes from 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds, you're the one who gets charged up. Connected, spacious, and a 300-mile range with the available extended range battery. The Ford Mustang Mach-E. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Lease a Ford Mustang Mach-E Select for just $299 a month, plus the Ford Power Promise. Only at your California Ford dealer.
Many things change as we get older. What? Your McDonald's breakfast order? No, no, no. You don't change perfection.
Be a McDonald's breakfast person and start your morning with a $7 big breakfast with hotcakes, complete with an English muffin, sausage, scrambled eggs, and hash browns. Save time and order ahead in the app.
Are we stranded?
Hey guys, I got AAA.
When you're a AAA member, you're covered in anyone's car. Fox 40 Plus, available now on Roku, Fire, and Apple TV.
We're back in St. Louis with a packed out crowd. Wherever you are watching from, you are very welcome to our broadcast. We wish every father out there a very happy Father's Day. As we go track side now for the command.
Race fans, it's time to give the command for the Bommarito Automotive Group 500. Please welcome the president of Bommarito Automotive Group, John Bommarito. Race fans, in the stands tonight, and the millions more watching from all over the world.
I think the 500 in the race name Bommarito Automotive Group 500, I think it stands for 500 kilometers.
Big shout out to all the amazing dads out there tonight.
Oh yeah, happy Father's Day to all out there, by the way.
My father, God bless you, Dad. This one, this is for you. Drivers, start your engine!
And as the engines are fired up, well, we take a look at the track preview sponsored by Honda.
This place is pretty unique.
They're also going to do the 3 wide pace lap salute. So
The racetrack turns 1 and 2 has a little bit more banking than 3 and 4, and the corner radiuses are different. You're going to do about 45 to 50 laps on a tank of fuel here. Expect these guys to stop at least 4 times to make it all 260 laps.
right, here they go.
Quite the grid setup. That's McLaughlin struggles to get away. He was on the front row of the grid. We'll try and get it restarted. Has a hybrid on Burns' car, which allows him to restart from the pit lane if he can do that. But the problem is something a little bit more complex that the team will need to look at. This, it's 2 ovals in a row now for McLaughlin, and he's had problems before the race has even got underway. He crashed on his way to the start at the Indianapolis 500, but he gets the engine fired and will make his way out and should be able to make his place back up on the grid to the front row.
He will. We'll be able to see him weave his way through for this 3 wide parade lap. They will start 2 wide, but for Scott McLaughlin, that must have been a quick little moment of panic if you think back to what Will mentioned, the warm-up lap crashing out of the Indy 500, James. That's dicey stuff right there. It's good to see him rolling again.
Yeah, it's the worst feeling, isn't it? The start of a race, all this work, all this preparation goes in to getting here and putting on an IndyCar race, and to get to the command to roll off pit lane and have an issue with the car right off the bat. It's definitely a heart in the throat moment, but everything all good for Scott McLaughlin.
The funny thing is, with a 3 wide parade lap, it's a little harder for McLaughlin to weave his way through and get back up there. Maybe he's going to elect to wait until the first parade lap is done. We'll have to see how he plays this.
But he does take his place back at the front. It will be an all Penske front row. Will Power and Scott McLaughlin. It's been a difficult start to the season for Penske and for all the Chevrolet engine teams. Every win so far this year taken by Honda Power. And only 2 drivers have won so far this year. Championship leader Alex Palou and Kyle Kirkwood, who has been the king of the streets.
Well, speaking of power, this is the iconic moment on the run-up lap. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
It shook our booth. James, I've been coming here for years. I've never felt what I just felt. The entire main grandstand in the broadcast booth just shuddered with that explosion.
What's that?
They did some pyrotechnic display on the backstretch. Yeah, Angel asked me, are you still going to see 3194? I told him, unfortunately, no, because I'm just burned out from today. Well, if it had came sooner in the daytime, I would have caught it. Yeah, this is why it's kind of tricky for me to catch these intermodal auto stack trains.
And the truth is, you almost never find perfectly clean air. It's always a bit of a compromise. But cars are going to be slicing and dicing, and it might be pretty subtle. You might only get, there's some debris on the track from that explosion coming out of those fire cannons on the back straightaway. It should just be, some paper and tape. But let's head down to pit lane. Georgia.
Okay, we can feel those explosions down here on pit lane 2. I have my eye on Will Power, the greatest qualifier in NTT IndyCar Series history. 71 career poles, 5 here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. And just yesterday, he got Team Penske their 700th pole across all motorsports.
Here we go.
You see on the screen right now, Liz Power, that's Will's wife. She told me that their son Bo is peacefully sleeping in their bus right now. But if Will was to pull it off here on Father's Day, they might whisk Bo away to victory lane. Talk about a Father's Day surprise and a good dream there, Kevin.
Georgia Alex Palou has won 3 of the last 4 titles and is dominating this year's championship. But until 3 weeks ago, he had never conquered an oval, but now he's won the biggest race in the world, the Indy 500. But this is very different. He's not little out here, and Palou told me tonight he desperately wants to get it on the short oval. More comfortable each year. The best car he said he's had here. Maybe not as strong as the Penske, but he should be a factor. Jack. A driver achieving absolute huge milestone tonight is Graham Rahal. This will be his 300th start in the IndyCar
Oh, yep,
series.
you hear that? Tonight it's Graham Rahal's 300th IndyCar start.
Congratulations to Graham on a great career, and also my driver to watch, a guy who knows how to move forward on these short ovals.
So, yeah, the driver to look out for tonight is Alex Palou and Kyle Kirkwood, but I'm also going to keep an eye on drivers like Will Power, Scott McLaughlin, Pat O'Ward, and Joseph Newgarden. And I definitely don't want to sleep on David Malukas either.
Joseph Newgarden, who was so fast in practice, would be frustrated starting 5th. Mark Boyd as he looked fast around this track this weekend.
When you talked about the dominance of Honda so far this season, well, it's top 5 all Chevys. The bow tie bringing the muscle here tonight, so we'll have to see how that plays out. Speaking of muscle, James, 20,000 horsepower in total as these 27 cars get ready to fire off.
We said on board with Joseph Newgarden, the pace car leads, it will pull away. And it will pull in on the back straight. Will Power, as he has done 70 times before this, the 71st time.
All right, here we go. Managed to get the leaderboard up without issue. All right, let's do this. Pace car is off. Will Power on the pole. What the? Where did the pace? Oh, they're on the backstretch, huh? Pull off much sooner than expected.
We're waiting to see if Chevy or Penske can turn the tide and take victory away from Honda, from Ganassi, from Andretti, and they can roll through the final corner.
All right, here we go. Green flag and the IndyCar race at Gateway is underway. Hey, Malukas wasting no time, taking second. He's gonna go for the lead now. Wow. Third to first. And looks like Malukas is gonna lead lap 1 from third place. Wow. Oh wow, almost 3 wide. Kirkwood looking to the inside of Armstrong.
Temperature was going to lead to this good side-by-side racing, and it is absolutely played out, especially for Connor Daly, one of the strongest drivers historically here, Kevin, and now he's going past Cougar.
Connor Daly looking to the inside. And for 7th. Oh, yellow. Oh, I think it's Louis Foster. No, it's Devlin DeFrancesco. Yeah, Power's going to get Malukas back on this race.
The only driver more upset about this caution than Dad or Connor Daly, because he was on an absolute roll. But let's take a look at what happened. Just lost it.
Just lost.
Entry there. You got to try to arc it in late here in turn 1, 2. Just a little too much, a little too late. No one seemed to have a full review of that one. But Devlin DeFrancesco, under his own steam, puts it in the barrier and says that is the challenge of Gateway.
At least they don't have to go double file for this race.
I use my Bosch feet. I feel like doing a Bosch dance.
Well, I hear you, brother. Because when I use my Bosch power tools,
I feel like the macho man Randy Savage. You can take it. Phenomenal appliances. Power tools. Phenomenal appliances. Power tools. Watch this. Elbow. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. They walk among us at a 240 miles per hour. They become something more. They're thrill seekers, risk takers, and maybe just a little bit on the edge. Welcome on. This new era of speed, this racing revolution, it's just getting started. Now, you pay what we pay with employee pricing from Ford, the same company that assembles the most vehicles in the country. Right now, lease a 2025 Ford Escape Active.
Are you changing the settings?
I create your own account.
Change is always
So yeah, again, my followers were asking me if you were still gonna see it.
What?
CSX 3194. Well, I told them, unfortunately, no.
So no matter how your other
It's tough, especially since you've never seen a CS6 Heritage unit, but
Or is it coming up this way?
your price stays exactly the same.
it passed Belico 20 minutes ago.
Where's that at?
It's down past near Merced.
Well, we have to go see it. We have to go see it. So what do we do?
It's probably close. We probably might be meeting it, Mom.
Well, what do you want to do?
Be a McDonald's breakfast person and start your morning with a $7.
Well, I'm already home now, and I don't want to backtrack, okay?
Okay.
I'm probably going to get yelled at anyway.
Come on. You want to check it out or what?
You pay what we pay with employee pricing from Ford, the same company that assembles the most vehicles in the country. Right now, lease a 2025 Ford Escape Active for just $299 a month. Fox 40 Plus, available now on Roku, Fire, and Apple TV. The Home Depot has fast, free delivery, so you can get everything you need.
It was last spotted in Fergus Nirmer said, we might be meeting it. That's why sometimes I'm not keen about going back out there.
That's why today they're recognizing the service and bravery of local first responders with honoring first lap during today's race.
If this train had came early on in the day, I would have caught it, Mom.
Back here at Gateway, that's the car of WWT Francesco, the first retirement from today's race being casted off the track. I can tell you while we were on break, a number of drivers took the opportunity to come into the pits and top up on fuel. They are Noah Seagood, Graham Rahal, Kevin Simpson, Stingo.
Besides, it will be there tomorrow anyway.
We talked about Connor Daly absolutely smoking that start, going bold, going high, and getting aggressive. This is Alexander.
Tomorrow it's a we'll see.
So the question right now is, where's Connor? Well, the other trips are right outside of the road.
You still get that little four-way car belt going the second lane, the high lane, into the high lane. And this was the pass on the five-time race winner here at Gateway, Joseph Newgard down the inside. That was from a great run through 3 and 4. Just absolutely on rails. High line, low line, goes high line, skate flying anywhere. And right move, Kevin.
And you might wonder why Joseph Newgard lost these spots. After the caution, he said, crazy understeer, but he said it'll come to us. It'll be okay.
Yeah, that's an experienced driver. He knows what this car needs to feel like by lap 200. He's not super worried about what his balance is right now.
I don't think he's also super worried about exactly which position he is either. It reminds me of his Indy 500 run from the back. It was a mechanical issue that took him out, but he was on his way to the front by way of great skill and patience. We'll see how patient he is on this restart.
Penske failed to Joseph Newgard. He could have won the Indy 500 if it wasn't for technical gremlins curtailing his day. That's just how good his drive was and the great spectacle in racing. David Malukas then would lead the field. We'll take it back to green. As we pull through the final corner and down the start finish.
All right, back to green.
Racing once again. Keep your eyes out for that purple car. Colin Daly, who was on the move before. And Scott McLaughlin has a look at the power up ahead. And we work three ways. And David Rossi has it on the inside.
The yellow and black car is looking early, getting aggressive, and all of a sudden,
And Pelot stuck close to mid pack.
Connor Daly now up 9 positions in 6th place. What a run!
The next guy who's back yet is Kyle Kirkwood, who's another big mover so far on the day, plus 5 in the number 27 machine. As we see Newgard now.
Newgard looking.
On Marcus Ericsson in the
Marcus Ericsson, nope, can't make it stick.
Well, I think Joseph Newgard watched what Connor Daly did and started to think to himself, okay, I need to get a little bit more aggressive here as they fan out further back. Here comes on Newgard.
That's Tino Ferrucci takes a look at the championship lineup.
Alberta had big wiggle down low. That was close.
Just enough room between him and Newgard to get away with it. But when Newgard can stay up on the second lane, Newgard's driving in that third year. The car started really driving in the third year, then on front. So that takes a bit of downforce off his car, makes it tougher. Carolina having a bump in the 6-time champion, puts the move on Scott Dixon and makes it stick. You having a confident experience here at St. Louis, and it's glorious to see.
Starts and restarts. Well, restarts will be at a premium for the rest of the night because that's your opportunity to really start to make things happen. Now it gets a little bit harder as the tires start to wear, they start to fan out single file, and this is where the really subtle cuts with clean air start to come in. Once the cars just try to fall a quarter way off, you try to pick up a little more front downforce.
Champion Alex Pelot running a different color scheme this weekend in that green car. At the top of the screen is Newgard. Has a look on the inside of Marcus Armstrong. But Armstrong keeps his foot in and once again says no way through to Joseph Newgard. It's a tough thing to do when you're dealing with a guy who has had so much success here. So Armstrong doing a great job. He was a top qualifying Honda in the field. But doing very well to keep Joseph Newgard behind him right now.
Joseph Newgard looking smartly measured with each move, each decision here. As we ride on board with Santino Ferrucci, the Bommarito followed through car, and Ferrucci, really inspired. That's to the well, that's Dixon, Clemson. He rolls up on the inside of Antonio Rossi. Keep in mind that Santino Ferrucci's
Daly ahead of him. Let's listen to those of you guys right here. So we're just talking about understeer. What I like to hear though is how Columbia is on the radio for how manic it looks like from where they're sitting. Understeer forced to sort of a backward front grip. He's turning the wheel and the car's not really turning around the corner. They have some tools inside the car they can use to adjust the balance. The pit wall recommended one. He said, yeah, I didn't really like that. Again, this is a super experienced driver.
All right, Malukas is opening up almost a second lead on him.
He's got to run back on Connor Daly. Yeah, this looks to be a great run as he pops to the inside. Should have the position. How hard does Connor Daly press again on the outside? Oh boy, Daly hammering it. Very hard from Connor Daly. Lovely stuff. From the native of Noblesville, Indiana. He loves oval racing. There's Connor Daly. As you said, it doesn't matter who's low line or high line. Connor carries the pace, carries the speed that will not be passed that easily. And these two drivers, Connor Daly and Newgard, grew up racing against each other all through the junior levels on their way to IndyCar. And I'm sure there's a spark from both of them if they had that close two-wide moment. Georgia.
Well, we saw Dick Williams pass over William Power, but before he even jumped in his race start, he told me he was going to be cautiously aggressive at the beginning of this race, and that's exactly what he did. The thing I find so interesting, he also told me that his race car right now is set up for the end of the race. So there's still speed coming out the board.
Yeah, Richie racing the David Malukas in the blue and white car. He's gapping Will Power as well. That was a 3/10 of a second gap.
The gap is 1 second now.
Over a second as we see this battle between two of the biggest movers so far today. And I like this. Daly now starting to apply the pressure to Carl Kirkwood.
Yep, Devlin DeFrancesco. Yep, his day is over. Dang, lapping cars already. Oh, no, wait. I think that's an error.
Totally confident, low, middle, high. He's doing all the lines tonight, and he's doing it well. You got to remember, he drives for JHR with Buzz Hollinger. A fairly young team. Haven't had a ton of success as Newgard with a late move attempt on Kirkwood, too late to make it stick. Kyle is hanging around the outside there, but again, Daly put these guys under a lot of pressure. He's now the gearbox of Power Award. He's knocking on the door of the fourth place running car, one of the most successful open drivers in the series in that McLaren, and he's going to line him up here, too.
Saw Connor Daly floating high mid-corner, and he's getting there on that front wing and making it work. Connor Daly now at fourth as Newgard and Kirkwood side by side.
Newgard should make that move stick. But Kirkwood keeps his foot in. The man who won the last race in Detroit won on the streets of Long Beach as well.
Newgarden goes for 6.
Joseph Newgarden, something of a gateway specialist. You see picture, W3, telling you Francesco thought his day was over. The team, however, as we understand it, may have been able to actually repair his car.
So Francesco's going to go back out.
Yeah, he can get back up.
Yep. Yep, the camera guy fell.
Malukas who leads to the tune of 1.6 seconds over Will Power. Then Scott McLaughlin and Connor Daly has made it past Max O'Reilly. Up to 4th place for Connor Daly. That is 11 places from race start.
Maybe 120 miles per hour. Toll free. Hi, I'm Sonny.
You said he was old. He's not that old.
Let's go, kid.
Come on! You're crazy, bro.
I get it. Sounds great when you say it.
F1 the movie, rated PG-13, Peter's IMAX, June 27.
This golf car has hands-free driving. Even, but my Skechers slip-ins are completely hands-free. I just step in and they're on.
This is a meal. Melty, cheesy, flaky, toasty. Lunch just got croissant-tastic. Try the new croissant toast sandwiches. It just meals good at Panera.
Moving this summer? Move with Pods, the most awarded container moving company. Whether you're moving across town or across the country, Pods brings the container to you. Keep it as long as you like and pack at your own pace. When you're ready, we'll take it to your new home or store it at a secure Pod storage center until you need it. And best of all, you don't have to do the driving. Trust Pods with your next move. Look at pods.com today.
Excitement comes standard with the Honda Accord. And so does a turbocharged engine. Sophisticated. High-tech. Style that enhances functionality. Stand out with the Honda Accord. From Honda, the most awarded brand in car driver 10 best history. Honda, proud partner of the NTT IndyCar series.
Hello, Zach. Welcome to the live stream.
Reported to be okay. The camera possibly not so much. But we're back to racing action, and David Malukas is now up to and lapping traffic. These are the drivers who stopped under caution when it came out for that WWT Francesco accident. That Greg Rahal, WWT Francesco's teammate Malukas, passes with ease. And guys, Malukas is doing a stunning job here today. 2.5 seconds ahead of Will Power, and these two drivers have been a storyline all the way through this season. Why? Because Will Power, one of the most experienced, one of the most successful drivers in the NTT IndyCar series, does not have a contract for next season. And there is talk throughout this paddock that if Penske choose to replace him for next year, it would be David Malukas who takes his place.
The problem is, you're talking about the fastest driver in the history of IndyCar over one lap. Will Power, 71 pole positions after starting on pole for this race. 5th in the championship, James, coming in here. The best of the 3 Penske cars. How do you bench a guy with those kind of numbers?
It doesn't make sense to me, but look, there's still a lot of season left to go. Malukas 11th in the championship coming into this weekend, but right now he is doing an incredible job. And guys, coming into this race.
Also, what's that area behind Austin Road where the roadway's like going up? Is it like a mound or something?
No, it connects to Allerton, that side road there. Look on the map.
So that's seemingly a common complaint amongst all of the drivers. Understeer the tires going on.
And what typically happens in this race is the team.
Yeah, because behind where I'm standing, there's like a mound for where the road will go.
Yes, Cameron, there's a road behind it.
Yes, I know about the road behind it.
So you have to add that thing with some discipline and a little bit of science. As Stingray Rob falls back. Absolutely stunning run.
Newgarden's gonna make the move on Connor Daly for 4th. And he does.
Short track racing. As soon as you catch up to those last cars, which happens quickly on a 1.25 mile track, if Daly now looks to come back on Newgarden, not quite close enough, but you can get that check up in momentum. If you kind of slow down for the last car in front, Joseph is just far enough back. He can keep his momentum up, roll it through the corner, got 2 cars for the price of 1. That's going to be a theme all night long. That's the experience of Joseph Newgarden, the knowledge of this track. He has run here more than any driver in this field, more than any driver in history. Is now back to a World Cup for on Greg Rahal. But now it is Team Penske, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. This is what we expected, a turnaround night for Team Penske, uncharacteristically not in the top of the championship at the midpoint of the season here. They are flexing big time right now. Right off the way down into pit lane. It'll be one of the early hitters. That is early because he already stopped there. About 3 laps on this. That's crazy. Gets the replay then of Newgarden putting those moves in, as you say, guys, as everyone checked up ahead. He was able to carry that momentum, make those positions up. Instinctive and incisive for Joseph Newgarden.
Oftentimes reflective of the relationship Newgarden has with his spotter. That he was giving him the information, and so great from Newgarden because, James, you know, the rubber starts to build, the marbles, the spent rubber off the tires starts to accumulate onto that high line now 42 laps in.
But that's what you see is those 3 cars on the bottom. They were all in line, just taking downforce away from one another. Joseph hanging it up high, able to keep the air on the car, max downforce.
Man, Malukas has opened up almost a 5-second lead on Willpower. Impressive.
It is risky up high. In fact, Newgarden, even though he won last year, he had a half spin from that exact move, that same situation, getting a little too high where the track gets sort of light gray to the high line. That's where that spent rubber, those marbles, you can start to see them there closely on the track, the little black specks.
And you talked about it, T-Bell. This was the spin from last year that Joseph Newgarden had on his way to his 5th victory. Just got a little bit high in turn 2 in that lighter gray. You can see the spin rubber, the marbles up there, spins the car around, manages to not hit anything, which is almost a hurdle at a place like Gateway. Recovers, rebounds, brings himself back to the front of the field and captures his 5th win. But that's what can happen if you get just a little bit too high. So flirting with that second lane is risky. It's at the top of the show. Chevrolet have not won a race all season. Right now, Chevrolet powered cars occupy the top 6 places. Purple, the highest running Honda runner in 7th for racing.
Straight starts to get a little harder for Nathan Malukas to work his way through traffic. He should not be anxious. He should not be in a hurry. He has a 3.5-second lead over Willpower right now, so he's going to choose wisely when to press. I think he'll only press if he feels like Power is really closing on him. If not, he can just be patient right now.
One of the teams thinking about strategy. What we go inside the cockpit.
Oh, Power's in the wall.
Running in second place, we were just talking about a 3.5-second gap to David Malukas and terminal damage for the number 12.
And you have to wonder if he got high going around the lap car and got into that exact area we were just discussing.
Yeah, that car's crowd.
He's going to try to nurse this thing back to pit lane and see if they can fix the steering arm on the right front suspension.
Holy crap, Willpower's lucky.
To the suspension where it leaks the wheel. Right from the outside, there's Power there, going unrunnable. Just gets hard.
Just got some understeer mid-corner, pushing things hard, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like he got hot.
Is there chances right front tire cut down?
It seemed a little peculiar. Let's see if we can see it from the onboard here.
Could have.
If there's anything else, let's listen.
Oh, yeah.
You can see it.
Already, you can hear the vibration of that tire.
Very, nothing you can really issue. Yeah, just a passenger. I wonder if he picks up some debris, maybe from the Francesco accident earlier in the race. Possible. Maybe from the pyrotechnics before the race. But look, he's potentially not out. He's doing a good job wrestling that thing back to pit lane. You can see both front and rear. You can see the right rear completely freewheeling there, almost not attached to the car. So at least the steering arm probably and the right rear totally at a minimum. That's 2 Penske will go to work and try to diagnose things. Great driver to get that back to pit lane, traveling the whole way around this 1.25 mile oval. Willpower will make it back to the pit lane.
AMR safety team started chasing Willpower, trying to figure out if he's going to stop, where he might stop, but it looks like he's made it all the way back in.
Back-to-back crashes for Willpower at St. Louis. I'm sure the replays of how his race ended last year early on in this broadcast. Look at it. Full lot left in order to go straight heading down pit lane. Normally, you're allowed in pit lane under a caution unless, of course,
It's the damage to your car that is what damage done. It's allowed under what's called emergency service, and I would say this healthily qualifies as emergency service for the number 12. Gets it into his pit box. Actually started in there. And he's thinking points. He's thinking, hey, we might go several laps down. We will go several laps down here, but let's try to diagnose it. Just like Francesco went back out on the track, they will hope to get power car fixed. Question is, can they do it on pit lane? Hey, if you've seen something, yeah, let's take a look right here, guys. It's just tough to see, but you can see right in here that you can see the material from the tire there. That's the quartz part of the fabric that's the under layer underneath the rubber. That's a very rare thing to see here in IndyCar. Pit lane is now open, and critically it comes when? Lap 50, exactly when the first stop was due to take place anyway. What a fortuitous circumstance for all the drivers. Lucas is doing a great job on the racetrack. Now his team's going to do a great job in pit lane. Adrian Racing is going up against some of the best in the business. It's Penske, the 3 crew. The 2 crew are so fast up pit lane. That 3.5 second lead that he had dissolved to nothing. Kevin.
And the car had a lot of understeer early, and as expected, it's not too close to be guarded. He is surging.
Oh, this caution was perfectly timed for those who will be making their stops soon. Whoa! So the 21 caught a little bit of a fuck.
We've seen it again here today. How are they going to shake out as they leave the pits? McLaughlin looked to have gone ahead of Malukas. It was a good start.
Alright, McLaughlin lost the spot. Can't hurt. It's not going to hurt. Looks like Lundgaard couldn't get into his pit. Yep, someone caught 31.94 on Empire.
And I said, Sam, I want to say it, right? Are you getting this? So, if you want to get
Water doesn't have to be boring. Turn it up with Circle. With over 40 delicious flavors and a dial that controls your intensity, Circle starts a party for your taste buds. No sugar, no calories, and no artificial flavors. Just good times. Circle, it's your water, your way. Try Circle at drinkcircle.com.
It may not sound like but this is actually progress at 225 miles per hour. Shell Renewable Race Fuel, reducing emissions by 60% in all NTT IndyCar Series races. We're moving forward with IndyCar because we're moving forward with everybody. Shell, powering progress. So, you like NASCAR but don't know who you're rooting for? Here's some Toyota legends to get behind. Meet Tyler Reddick, crushed it in Xfinity Series and now it's here. Basically, the Cinderella story is Cinderella drove 200 miles.
Well, everyone passed inspection. SVG's second career win is official.
All gas, no brakes. Oh, and Denny Hamilton. Ever heard of Daytona? He's won it 3 times. No big deal. We have a lot of drivers, all legends. You pick. You in?
That's my team out there.
If our network goes down, lives are at stake.
Our comms have to work.
Well, the mission won't.
That's why my partner with Verizon South Mine. The network that truly prioritizes first responders.
So we don't worry about being through. And they're the most reliable 5G network in America. Out here, reliability is everything.
Extreme or regional? Verizon Frontline delivers.
The #1 network choice in public safety. Learn more. Your mission is our purpose.
At Mothers, we're driven by the same passions you are, fueled by more than 50 years of purpose and innovation. We're driven by the details, the finish, the shine, the personal style. We're driven by the epic adventures and the simple joys. We're driven to scrub away the ordinary, to reveal the pristine, because no matter what we drive.
See, the cameraman fell. See.
We're driven.
Look at the top
Take care of
left.
it. Give it that mother's love.
As long as probably forever there's only been one
Oh,
frosty,
wow.
that's probably wins in. Out of a bunch of mix-ins and mix-ins like Oreo cookies or Pop-Tarts pieces, that's kind of genius, actually. For a fresh way to frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
Welcome back to St. Louis, where we are still on the caution for an accident.
So look at all the international drivers that have won lately. SVG wins today. Suarez wins yesterday. Stuart Friesen from Canada wins Michigan last week. And then Trayton, who's from Canada, also Canadian, wins the ARCA race yesterday. So it's been a good 2 weeks for international drivers.
Unfortunate for us, but yeah, just blew the front. Man, you virtually flat every lap between the layers. Yeah. Nothing I can do there. I still feel bad for everyone, the Boston guys. Got a good car, just sitting there taking fuel, getting a big number to try to get that fourth stop. I know the Lucas was taking off. Figured he just has to take it to be able to, get to him.
No Joe Coy.
No, Barton.
Oh.
Nothing was going to stop Ty.
Sounds almost like him.
But go to the next one, man. See if we can get a win. Like we're always knocking on the door, but not today.
John to Road America for World Power. Thanks a lot.
Thanks to Will, thanks to Georgia. Some started second here in St. Louis. The lights turning on around the track. Let's have a look back at what happened here in pit lane. There's the car of Christian. Wow, you're right. You can't not reverse. That's what we would do to reverse, because we see the 21 get some fuel. That says fuel that hits the exhaust pipes, catches on fire, burns up pretty quickly. But I don't know why the setup is not there. I just think like it is his clock, and then guys can see waves. So let's take a look maybe at a different angle on board of cells. This is it, yeah, just missed it. He went to go with us, and he just checked out the anything on where he was, but either way, we're about to go green here. Is there a single file again?
All right, going back to green. Lap 58. No, 57. Well, that's a lap car. Why would you put a lap car between the leader and second place? That's dumb. That's Lundgaard, who's a lap. Thing looks like 4 of the top 6 crack just posted the fastest.
For the minor places, as things stand at the moment, Wood getting the place through the pit cycle, taking most of the place through that pit cycle. As that brings BK has a look, and then Ricky gets it. How about Santino and Ferrucci doing work on the minor set cars on board here? The Bommarito car to the high side of Felix Rosenquist. Ferrucci, 8 positions, now 10 positions. So far, that is good stuff. Beautiful side. You can see Rosenquist actually stop at the wheel off the floor there, just trying to hang on to it, and he gets the move done. But how about James Boyd Racing with David Malukas in second and Ferrucci about to join him as he cars his way through the field. Is in a renaissance period in racing. They have come to play, and no second, Fulton's a pit lane after drawing a penalty for missing his pit, and advancing 60. I'm understanding having penalty to drive back the car of Felix Rosenquist.
Also, SVG kicked the rugby ball into the stick.
Oh, I see.
There's the thing. Seems like all the Trackhouse drivers have a signature celebration.
So a lot different than a roller skate circuit. You can go 2 laps down with the driver. Sounds like you mentioned Santino Ferrucci. the IndyCar series, doing a phenomenal job here this weekend as they have done over the last few races, with Lucas starting on the front row in Detroit, and Santino Ferrucci finishing that race on the podium. Lucas finishing second at the Indianapolis 500, and Rich getting the fourth. That's Jack Harvey on pit lane.
Yeah, just a quick update Will, on the 29 Christian Rasmussen. We all saw that fire. I went to ask their carpenter team over what happened, and they said they aren't sure. So what they've done is replace the entire fuel line system from the fuel tank that goes directly into the car. And I don't think the last time that I've seen a team do that mid-race.
Wow, Rasmussen, not letting that car slow down. One shot puts the move on Venus Beacon. As I understand, and as you will be able to see, that Billy Rosicruit didn't come in to take a strike-through penalty. That has now been upgraded to a stop-and-go penalty.
So bizarre as we see Christian Rasmussen there to have a team 2 or more races in a row have a reviewing issue as Rasmussen gets a little high. In Indianapolis, we talked about it, Alexander Rossi with a dramatic moment on pit lane. Also, while reviewing everything looked normal, team expecting a different issue, and then things absolutely lit off for the number 20 team. Luckily, Rossi was able to climb out, but his day was done. And then today's incident, James, very similar, eerily similar.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of excess fuel. Top of your screen there, familiar screen. Excess fuel when the fueler pulls out, it drips on to the exhaust pipes that are sitting just behind, in front of the rear wheel, basically. And that fire, it burns quickly, but the quick thinking from Rasmussen was working the back of Foster. And we just saw Alex below. He's got quite a few spots in that stop because Woodward was stopped in front of him. He couldn't get out. So another big loser in pit lane as a result of the 7th incident was Alex Below, your championship leader, trying to find his way back.
But here comes Below back on Rasmussen, looking to make a move. So these two are going to be going at it, I think, for the next several laps.
Rasmussen up to 14, looking now at Louis Foster in 13. Little race here. This time last year, Below does try to get back past Christian Rasmussen. Will have the low line, have the inside line to the left hand that follows, and Rasmussen will have to jump back in. I took a tour off the track with him earlier this weekend. He says he
Blow up to 14. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be an Alex Palou dominating type race. Even if he wins, it won't be a dominating race. Not saying that he would win, but you get the point. Newgarden going over Maluk. Yes.
We heard from Will Powers saying that it's not the same. Don't go any laps. Just take it out of the same field. Don't go hammering out after David Lucas as he does. That's where Lucas' mindset you know, he needs to get in this race. Like leading every single lap. Or should I now start thinking about the field? Can I just sit here and plot my course? Because we have still 119 laps of this contest left to go.
I think one of the great things about the partnership between AJ Foot Racing and Team Penske is the information a young driver like David Lucas is able to glean from those champions, those race winners, the Newgarden, Power, and McLaughlin. He can study what they do in my situation, leading, running up front. How do they adjust the balance? How hard do they press? And I think Lucas is an incredibly quick learner with all that information.
Yeah, he's definitely a quick study. We've seen that right from his rookie season with Gold Point Racing back a few years ago, especially here in January. But you know, I think the radio transmissions we were hearing from Newgarden in that first stint, too much understeer, but wasn't getting panicked about it. I'd love to hear what Lucas's voice is like right now as he starts to kind of fall back into the clutches of the two-time champion. It's about staying with what you say, 187 laps left to go in this race. You just got to stay calm, keep working on your race car because this track is going to evolve and change a lot as this night goes on.
And look at the run that Newgarden has now. The Lucas slid up high. Newgarden stayed low and now going to go low.
We've gone to put the move to second place. I'll take it, Lucas. Takes that away from him. It was a Penske 1-2. But look at from Newgarden, the Lucas falls to third. Sixth there, hanging on to the rear wing. And Rasmussen does Below, does Eiler, and will go after Louis Costa. More and more dirty with the spent rubber coming off the tires. Rasmussen has to keep that in mind. He's got to actually taper his aggression with every lap, knowing the line is getting more and more narrow for IndyCar. And we keep seeing all this side-by-side racing like we're seeing with Palou and Ira, and now we see it for our roster. It's going to keep that highlight a little bit cleaner, a little bit better, like how this type of racing. Rasmussen, one of the most exciting drivers on an oval to watch. And since the restart, he's the man on the move. 7 places gained. Since that restart on lap 57. 20 laps, 7 positions. Keep your eyes on 50 Rasmussen.
You need hard-working tires or a hard-earned victory. Firestone tires, or driving IndyCar legends, or pushing the limits and pulling it off, or turns 1 to 4 and handling your 9 to 5. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
To Haggerty, it's obvious. One of these cars is not like the others. It's harder to operate, but easier to enjoy. You use it less, but you love it more. And if something goes wrong, it's a lot harder to replace. It's not your everyday car, so don't pay more for everyday insurance. Pay a better price for better coverage from Haggerty. Quote today at Haggerty.com.
Moving this summer? Pods is the most awarded container moving company. Pods brings the container to you, then we'll take it to your new home or store it at a secure pod storage center. And you don't have to do the driving. Trust Pods with your next move. Look at pods.com.
Push guys, cold and smooth smiling skills. To avoid going in circles, take note of recognizable landmarks. Like that.
What's wrong with going in circles?
Different circles, Ross.
Okay.
Head for the mountains.
At Wayfair, we're game for every style.
Let's play charades. Oh, I got my favorite chair. Got it. All right, ready?
I'm having a good evening today, Jay the Rail Fanner.
Well, there's no rule about adding it to my card.
That's all I have to say.
Wow. Got my first cherry.
The DQ Soft and Tossed Chicken Strip Basket comes in your choice of honey barbecue or new buffalo, layered with flavor from the top, bottom, and everywhere in between. Delicious from every angle. That's the Soft and Tossed Chicken Strip Basket. Get yours now only at DQ.
You ever just look at them and think, yeah, I'm doing all right.
Stay free nights this summer at Best Western and get $50 off a future stay.
These hands have helped me become a 3-time All-Star. I must protect them. What's up, man? So I wear hand-free Skechers slip ins. I just step in with no bending down or touching, so my hands can take it easy. Try Skechers slip ins. Who digs deep to uncover the real problem at this restaurant? I am Darren Andy. Gordon Ramsay's Secret Service, only Wednesday on Fox.
Saturday, it's baseball night in America with 2 of the league's biggest bats on deck as Pete Alonso and the Mets take on Kyle Schwarber and the Phillies. For the Royals, battle the park race. Check local listings for the game in your area. Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox. And as he's leading, Scott McLaughlin, he had a decent week where he went and got touched his own personal luck getting into baseball himself.
What now? What now?
Nothing, I'm trying to find your grandma's conflict really. I said, no.
Seeing the out strategy, I think he wanted to make it to lap 105 on this stuff. Maybe he didn't get a little fuel. He needed some of that fire might have been early release of the fuel, might have had a little drill out there and setting on fire. No wonder He was putting on the moves. He was lighter than anybody else out on the track. He had made up. His mate past Antito Gucci to sit in the top 10 by the time he came in to the 15 there. Now on strategy, the three, the very quick car. And he comes out right ahead of Scott McLaughlin. This will be interesting. This is a flip because of that. Oh, and now the Vanguard's coming, guys. That's what we talked about. If you get checked up on these short tracks, you're losing momentum. McLaughlin did get checked up. New Garden will take the advantage. Moves to the inside, wants to find his way through, but thinks better of it. The last thing you want to do is get into contact with your teammate from McLaughlin. That was again trying to lose it. That was aggressive stuff from Christian Rasmussen. So I am sure McLaughlin will be furious about how hard Rasmussen fired it in to turn 3 because he is a lap down. As now McLaughlin through Stingray Round, it will set his sights on going and getting Rasmussen to put him 2 laps down. I understand how hard he was fighting, but that was as close as it gets. It was a total disaster for the race leader. Risky move for sure. He was trying to stop himself and going 2 laps down. But remember, we've now got fresh Firestone, so I'm not sure that Walker would be able to just catch up to and drive around him. But now Stingray Rob side by side here with Newborn. And Newborn tries to do that. Understand from pit lane, Will, that you are absolutely right that they were short on the last stop with safety rescue, so that explains why he had to come in early. Despite being fast, though, he's going to be that sort of awkward gear off strategy. Probably going to have to save some fuel if you run out the new tires with the gap that he's put on Scott McLaughlin. Probably another 10, 15 laps, and soon the majority of the field have to come in to refill the shell, 100% renewable fuel. McLaughlin leading the way from Newgarden, 0.8 is the gap. Lucas 2 seconds behind Bennett's overall. Daly still sitting pretty in the top 5. Mark Cup with a 6. Then Hunter Armstrong, Gurucci, and rookie Louis Foster completing the top 10. And remember, guys, to be right on board the Jet Synergy machine of Scott McLaughlin, this was his pole center here last year and led a majority of the race until a late caution, a late pit stop. He lost the battle off pit lane to this guy here, Joseph Newgard, who went on to win. And Kevin, what's happening with the number 2 PBC machine?
So right before he went on the attack a few laps ago with Scott McLaughlin, he was asking his spotter about available lanes, gave him to go. He wanted another run to the next stop. After he started charging a little bit, he said the car is good, don't touch it on the next stop.
Take a look at what Kevin was talking about here. This is Rasmussen again, coming out of the pits, cold tires, but new tires, and he just fires it into 3, full commitment there. I'm sure it caught Scott McLaughlin by surprise as he saw him wiggle, but then they lost the momentum with a hard-charging Newgarden. Almost gave up the point from McLaughlin. But Newgarden again showed more patience tonight, and he wasn't showing that last night when we had practice this exact same time of day. McLaughlin and Newgarden came pretty close on a number of occasions, and Joseph was none too pleased with his teammate. Now he's back on his rear wing and looking to make his way through. And at this stage, it's all about doing the opposite of the car in the front. So you saw there, McLaughlin running about half a car this stuff. Newgarden takes that free air down at the bottom of the racetrack. Conversely, if he decides to hang it up high, he's going to go down low. He's going to try to hang it up high. Anything you can do to keep half of your front wing into cleaner air is going to help you. And you said patience is the name of the game. And we've seen that in spades from Joseph Newgarden over the last few years on these short ovals.
This is Felix Rosenquist in front of McLaughlin. Remember, Rosenquist a lap down from that penalty. Always a pit for the speed of the race, but McLaughlin now 45 laps on his Firestones. This is deep into the skid. They're holding up well, but the grip does start to fall off a little bit.
Newgarden makes easy work of Rosenquist. McLaughlin just sliding and lifting that arm through the mid part of the corner, not speaking his way as he would like. It's a stunning sunset here in St. Louis. Going to the peaks of the sky. Beautiful seeing that off of turn 4 A glorious night. This place is packed too. It's great to see the fans come out and join us on a Sunday night. And you just know that when it comes time for even 3 quick pit stops here, it's going to get wild on the pit lane between these two.
Oh, wow. McLaughlin going to the bottom.
Being very defensive to Scott McLaughlin. Sealer did not want to go like that. I mean, there's defense, and then there's almost forcing the race leader over that white line, allowing Norland to cross through the race. As you go, the show was going to see his elbows and makes his way through. I gotta be honest, that was a bit sloppy for Nolan Sealer because McLaughlin had pulled out pretty early on too, and you cannot move in reaction to the movement of the car behind. I think he did that. Let's take a look here. You see McLaughlin now, he's moved out, and now they keep just forcing him over. That's you could have thought the actually left guilty. Yeah, behind the queue. I don't call that a penalty. Yeah, it's a race controller looking at and saying there's absolutely no reaction to his Newgarden has a look on McLaughlin. McLaughlin now stacked up in traffic. Newgarden might have a shot the next lap, and 3 Ganassi's ahead of the Penske race leader. Simpson in the middle, Malone to the right. Rail to the right, and Newgarden now comes into the pit, decides to get himself out of the traffic, out of the mess, and into the yeah, that's a smart move from Joseph Newgarden and the number 2 crew. This is the undercut. So what Newgarden's banking on is that McLaughlin's going to be caught up in this lap traffic here. Go around Connor Daly's tires for that team setup. He's coming in as well. This looks like a solid stop for Newgarden, Georgia. So Newgarden will hope to find clean air. Sorry, Georgia.
Yeah, Joey Train's got there late where we were.
Great stops from the AJ Foot crew. Both of them so far today. Jack, you're down there with a wood. Yeah, I'm literally just watching this stop. I managed to talk to the team. They said as his track temperature was changing, I actually got a little bit loose and he was getting a little bit more nervous. They took some time out. He's racing his team right out pit lane. Race leader into pit lane. Scott McLaughlin.
McLaughlin's in.
His teammate was the first to bite the bullet and come in on lap 101. Georgia.
And it's words like fantastic, nice job, great job for Ben Gressman to Scott McLaughlin. And now it's the team's turn to shine. This pit stop is going to be ever so important for the race leader. He is in. We're going into 4 tires and 4 for Scott McLaughlin. And getting your notes on what the Joseph Newgarden was before this, but this pit stop ever so impressive from the team. So he's down the race.
Newgarden is coming through 3 into 4. Down the start for this race. We will watch where McLaughlin leads the pit lane and where he comes out in relation to his teammate. Here he comes. It's an 80-mile-an-hour speed. That's Newgarden. He's well ahead. That undercut working to great effect. And now Lucas is going to go around the number 3 as well. So that's 2 positions lost effectively on that exchange for Scott McLaughlin. The only benefit for McLaughlin is going a little bit longer, which shortens the fuel window a little bit for him. And Newgarden finding the clean track and using the speed from that clean track to make that strategy work. Smart move for Joseph Newgarden from the number 2 team. Gets him out on track, gets the heat into the tires, gets the pace, and Nolan Sealer in the bottom screen there has a drive-through penalty for blocking. If we saw that one coming, that was a bit more too from Nolan Sealer as Joseph Newgarden continues to put the U-turn on track. Newgarden then ahead of Lucas, ahead of McLaughlin, but it's Alexander Rossi who leads the race at the moment for Ed Carpenter Racing from Venus PK and Scott Dixon. Here's a replay of McLaughlin coming out. Newgarden already miles ahead of him, and here comes Lucas on the hot tires. What that's told all these teams, guys, is that doing that undercut, that hitting a earlier strategy, that buys you track position. But you can't do it every stint out there. Eventually, your last stint is going to be so long, you'll have to save so much fuel, but still a lot learned for all these teams on that exchange. We'll be back here to the later.
To find your way, sometimes you have to pay yourself. Forge your own path through grit and determination. Introducing the most capable CRV you've ever dreamed of. Honda, proud partner of the NTT IndyCar series.
As long as probably forever there's only been one Frosty. Because what would we even do? Add a bunch of loose rolls and mix-ins like Oreo cookies or Pop-Tarts pieces? That's kind of genius, actually. For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
Hi. Ready for an ultra?
Racey for an ultra?
Don't forget, this also Danny.
Mineral Ultra, superior lightning.
How should I wash my dress? You should use a delicate cold cycle. Do I just put it in? Remember to turn it inside out to protect the sequins. Can I put it in the dryer? The icon on the tag says no.
Oh, thank goodness I asked. I just saved daylight.
Whether Dad's vehicle is his prized possession or a family home, he needs to protect it. This Father's Day, give him the gift of WeatherTech. From laser measure floor liners and cargo liner to keep his interior pristine, to seat protector to guard against stains, and sunshade to block harmful UV rays, the Godfather perfectly secures his phone while driving. Order these American-made products or a gift card at WWT.com. Happy Father's Day.
Hey, wait! You look great. We'll be out this night.
I would pick you over anywhere else.
I trust you, I trust you.
Stop watching it right now. Right in the burn.
This minute, Tuesdays on Fox, and not anytime on Hulu.
It's Saturday night. You can watch a game, or you can go out and make some memories. But people make bad choices on a Saturday night. Some days, shutting over bad music and get off by some guy named Chad. Or you can be at home. No bad choices. No regretful texts. Just high-stakes baseball. With Joe Davis and Smoltz giving a play-by-play like a bedtime story for grown-ups. If it's Saturday night, it's baseball night in America. Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
Back to St. Louis, so will this be a gateway to the season turnaround for Joseph Newgarden? He has won 17 of his 31 wins on the tracks. He won here in 2024, has he? Won 4 of the last 5 races on this circuit. His 5 wins here are the most of all time for any driver in the NTT IndyCar Series in St. Louis.
The intermodal I caught earlier wasn't the ZG2LT, it was the ZBRLC. That was because of someone caught in Atwater.
Seven races of the season, 60 laps have already received it. So this has been a real turnaround. They're running first and third. Howard was up there running second. He got hit this year. The guys think about it. Right through this track, but they can't call it even better from a lap down. That's Alex Palou, who is 13. This is not the weekend we might expect from the championship league. We started the season off with such crushing dominance. Of course, his first overwin, his first Indianapolis 500 a few weeks ago. It was looking like everything was running smoothly. He was knocked out of the race in Detroit a couple of weeks ago. The ball was coming. This not the weekend for Ganassi. It may be the weekend for Nancy Kevin.
Joseph Newgarden on flag, and he actually seemed in really good spirits.
Right, Newgarden's up front. Back to, he's in the lead.
He said we've had pace a lot of the time. I'm not going to change my mindset. He understands championship is not going to be in the picture this year. So it's not just go for bust and go for wins. If you do that, you get yourself in trouble. It's take care of business as he looks to be able to try to lock the championship leader Alex Palou right here, going to the inside. The car is always good here. Just try and get that first win, get that season started.
Yeah, there's an awful lot going on ahead of him as he goes with the move up the inside of Alex Palou. Somebody right down in the dirt on the way into turn 1. Palou looks to put the move on rail, and Joseph Newgarden has to buy his time and get there of it.
Palou says you might be close to lapping me, but
crazy there between Foster and Rossi. They were driving each other down to the dirt, and that's the reason they do some defense. You're looking at the area, okay, they might just chill right now as some of that cage rage is starting to break out as darkness falls. Let's take a look at what happened. So it's right on the 360. Foster gets to the inside of Lefty. And deeper again, all the way up into that left lane, and we have seen can be absolutely devastating. So here's the option of Rossi getting that grab off of Royale. Defends against Foster, but can't do it. Not expecting Foster to try to go inside. And we might wonder if there's that up block, like what we saw from the This is a different Rossi. He's proactive, I believe, getting to the inside first. He didn't react. He was proactive. That's what he did.
Behind me now.
He's
He's
almost 163 miles an hour to the left. Everybody else up in at 165 to the middle of that range. It doesn't have any pace at all. 115 ran right on here, just struggling 3 laps down already. Actually make that 4 laps down. And I can tell you guys, when you've got a car that's not handling well on a short oval like this in IndyCar, it is a miserable night. It's all that. Just trying to survive, really trying to stay out of the way, pick up points from cars having trouble and attrition. It's in the survival mode. It just not the right car to celebrate his 300 start in the IndyCar series. On board with BNC Bank and Scott Dixon as he's making a move on Malukas. Did Malukas have to check up big? Now, remember, Dixon is a lap down. That's not poor position. So I think Malukas trying to get through this stretch of lap down cars. I'm not used to hearing Scott Dixon being a lap down on a track like this. I think some issues with data being set to our target jumping up and jumping down. Paul Ward starting to get closer to Scott McLaughlin. Driving on board thanks to Arrow, and there's McLaughlin kind of fading up and opens up some clean air for Ward down low. Now, Scott McLaughlin, 2 laps better on fuel than his teammate Joseph Newgarden. Does he try to return the strategy paper and undercut on the next set of stops? He's got a little bit more fuel window to work with because he stopped 2 laps later. It means that if he stops before Newgarden, he can find clean air and maybe go faster on the track while Newgarden gets caught in traffic. So the undercut is hitting earlier than the car you're competing with. So much of the strategy on these short tracks, guys, is timing. It's timing for the drivers on the racetrack, timing where you get through that traffic, where you make your passes to not have that loss of momentum, but then timing for pit wall. When you call your driver in, you've got to take into account where they're going to come out on track. Are they going to come out in a mess of traffic? Are they going to make it out into some clean air, be able to run some fast laps? Is it war now? Get a nice, big slide. Huge save for Ronnie Wood. Massive move for the number 5 car, Pato Award. Brilliant onboard courtesy of Arrow, but that was a monster save for Pato Award. That is just another day in the life of Pato Award on an oval. Nobody able to hang out more than this guy and be able to save it. Most importantly, look for the look from outside the cockpit. That was.
Yeah, Adam finally got that grain train. Jesus Christ, that took way too long.
Tire marks, he believe it, coming off the two there. That's impressive. If he had $1 for every time he had a big save on an oval, he could buy a bigger jet. I mean, this guy is so good at running the car loose, which is sometimes what you have to do to get the lap time, especially to navigate traffic. And it's not slowing down at all. It has the scoop paddle. So still Newgarden who leads to the tune of 6 seconds from David Malukas. McLaughlin is third, Pato Award is fourth. Rasmussen is slightly off strategy, 6th. That is 20 places up from where he started. The commentating Carl Gershwin, Thompson Herman, Santino Ferrucci, and Louis Foster rounding out the top 10.
Oh, crash! New Garden crash. He's upside down. Look.
Safety team jumps immediately over the wall to talk to the driver. We're hearing his radio here, and it's okay. It was going picture perfect for Joseph Newgarden. Now, an absolute nightmare scenario as all the cars on the front straight trying to navigate the minefield of carbon fiber and debris. I imagine they might come through pit lane. That is right at start finish, right ahead of our commentary position, looking down onto the start finish stretch. And Louis Foster.
And Louis Foster is also in it.
Some idea of how fast these cars are going that Newgarden is able to get halfway down the front straightaway after skidding upside down as the AMR team attends to Louis Foster there. Based on the damage I see on the right side of his car, I wonder if Newgarden was trying to pass around the outside of 4. Foster maybe did see him coming and close the door. Now, typically what happens here is the AMR team will just pick him up to 90 degrees to this point to be able to get Newgarden out safely, or will they let the whole car go down? It's about 1,800 pounds plus the driver, almost 2,000 pounds. Look at these guys.
Look at that.
Amazing job to softly
Hey.
put the car down and protect Newgarden.
It takes a lot of people to turn that car upside down.
Out of the back of the car.
And we are so grateful to the AMR safety team who come with us to every NTT IndyCar Series race. Always on the scene.
What did you say? What you said, how love giraffe.
Two big hits in back-to-back
Well, that's
races.
a good thing. Where did you run right in there? I like to say that. Yeah, no, I'm giving them. No.
That is your race leader. Louis Foster, who was on for a great result in 10th as well.
Oh, you're not too
Yep.
happy.
And relief. Good applause for both. And I feel for both. Louis just composing himself here. Remember, this is his first short overhaul.
Here we go.
He got
Yep.
up into the
See.
bubbles, into that spent rubber on his own, damaged the car, and there's a passenger as a driver at that moment. Oh, no. Joseph, absolutely nowhere to go. Look at that.
Oh, he got run around.
I've never seen anything like that up short at all. He could have easily cleared the pit wall and ended up crashing down pit lane. And there you see not only the roll bar, but the aeroscreen halo device protecting Newgarden as the shower of sparks is flooding the cockpit. A nice big gap between the driver's helmet, and you see the right rear of Foster's was so broken, yet no control of that car. But Joseph just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I'm reminded again of the safety of these cars. That is a T-bone impact, which is one of the worst impacts you can see on a racetrack. How much of that nose is that?
What?
Joseph's car? How much is the rear of Louis
No.
intact? As well, showing once again the strength of these below chassis. And look at that, as the sparks come off, you see the strength of that halo and that area.
That is a terrifying view from Joseph Newgarden. You're on an oval, you're doing over 170 miles an hour, and there's a car broadside in front of you. And you know what? The green light was on. After Foster would get knocked down, yeah, oh, wow. And Newgarden would have no idea. Well, he would have seen him, but still, but you're not looking, he's looking to make a move. Still great. Yeah.
Damn. Wow. Unk went flying. And there went the camera. Thank God for the halo, the helmets, and the safety team. Man.
Newgarden and Foster, thankfully both okay. We are back under caution here in St. Louis after a terrifying accident before the
You know what you don't see in psoriasis commercials? The thousands of real people who go undiagnosed. People whose psoriasis can look very different depending on their skin tone. As the makers of Trapaya, we understand that everybody's moderate to severe plaque psoriasis doesn't look the same. So we undertook a first-of-its-kind study of plaque psoriasis in every skin tone. like hers and his and yours.
Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine.
Ask your dermatologist about Tremfya.
Sarah Benzino, Brandon Foley, Jablonski Auto Body, LLC.
See,
Yeah, she's with the twins neighboring.
yeah, like stadiums, kids are so expensive these days. Here it comes.
Oasis, Breeze, Tan, and Star. Or we can look at some investment options for you.
Works for us. The right money moves aren't as absurd as you think. You may know it isn't billionaires, but what I use my Bosch fleet. I feel like don't Bosch there.
Well, I hear you, brother. Because when I use my Bosch power tools,
I feel like the much too man Randy Savage. You take it. Phenomenon biases. Phenomenon biases. Power tools. Watch this. Elbow. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
Well, I don't know where you got coffee.
Excellent.
So yeah, see, Adam finally caught it. Jesus Christ, it should not have taken that.
Well, time is not pulled over or slowed down time for a reason, okay?
Can't be slacking off on these.
Treatment to help those with moderate to severe eczema find real itch relief and real results. Like skin that's still more clear at 1 year.
Don't use if you're allergic to Eplis. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Eplis. Before starting Eplis, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Skin that's still more clear, even at 1 year? Clearly, it's possible with Eplis.
Talk to your doctor about Eplis for eczema.
Fox 40 Plus, available now on Roku, Fire, and
Yeah, I'm most likely not going to get this grain train going back north too, because it's going to come on a work day, unfortunately.
No easy path, no second chances. Thursday at 9 Eastern on FS1. And we are still under caution here in St. Louis for a massive accident that has befallen the race leader, the man in 10th place at the time, Louis Foster, who went up and into the wall, lost control, spun back across the track. No other difference because of you guys. Both fortunate to be okay, but they are around the cars and on their way to the medical centre. Soon on book, just as you guys are very good for me. We counted it, I'm afraid. 6 seconds between the Foster going up into the wall and the point of contact between those two cars. It was only at the very last moment, almost as they were about to make contact, that the track went yellow. Yeah, nothing that Joseph Newgarden could do here. He would not have a chance to do anything except pull his hands off the wheel and try to brace himself.
So yeah, the thing I'm referring to is the mound that goes up here. I don't know if you call it a mound or a ramp.
What's going to be the future ramp down there?
I have to point out that
The-
Louis Foster
or-
had an accident that wasn't his fault.
What's the ramp?
2 weeks ago in Detroit, another massive
Hey,
impact.
yes, that's the word I needed. I wasn't referring to the alternate route. I was just referring to the ramp thing. I wasn't sure if to call a mound or a ramp.
What's the future ramp?
Newgarden's left hand pushed right past the steering wheel. He was not, he didn't have time to pull his hands back and cross his chest, which is the normal sort of clenched fist motion when you know you're going to hit hard. That the remnants of number 2 Tennessee back to pit lane, and after an accident about ferocity once again, and I'm shocked with how much of that car is intact. Huge credit to Delara, huge credit to IndyCar, huge credit to the AMR safety team for all the work that's gone into these race cars, to these race tracks, to allow drivers to walk away, uninjured from accidents of that magnitude. And, we saw that long shot of pit lane. It's going to be another yellow flag shootout on pit road. We saw a lot of drama down there. in that last one, it was bad for Rasmussen, it was bad for Newton, or Lundgaard rather, and it was bad for Alex Palou.
Gateway, Illinois, or Madison, Illinois. Gateway's just the name of the track. It's across the river from St. Louis, Missouri. That's why sometimes when you see pictures of it, you'll see the St. Louis Arc in the background.
Guys, this was going to be their turnaround night. This was going to be their chance to set things straight. And now, 2 of their 3 top-running drivers out of this thing. You think about Will Power's issues early on. And we are only just halfway of this 260-lap contest now firmly on the lights in St. Louis. Thank you for joining us, wherever you are joining us from here on Fox. Track almost clear. An incredible job once again as the barriers now need to be repaired, of course, down there on pit lane. So we talk about these safety improvements, not just the cars, but the racetrack. That's the safer barrier on the inside of the racetrack as well, the inside wall. So those are giant foam-absorbing blocks that the track has replacements of. So after an impact, you check the steel structure that's on this side, the track side of the wall, and then
Who's there? Who's on money?
Barely anyone. There's
Or
people around. They're just visiting and going.
Quick repairs to that safer barrier. The IndyCar will be forced to wait until all of this work is done before opening pit lane. And not really bad news for the front runners because they'll want to extend this as long as possible. There's caution to get into the window for pit stops. They really want to be to about lap 150 to make this work. They could drive the cars down pit lane to avoid the front straight because there was a bunch of debris in pit lane as well. Yeah, it shows you the proximity of that accident. And this is actually a really fortuitous break here for Christian Rasmussen because
Oh yeah, also Catherine Legg finally had a good race where nothing happened. In other words, she had an issue-free race. Well, all her toxic haters can now back off for once. Just think she was criticized after her first Cup race. Take a look at, pull up the results.
And if you're Connor Daly or David Malukas looking for your very first IndyCar win, all of a sudden the odds have gone way up with Newgarden and Power out of this thing. Well, not 1-2. Neither of them have ever won an IndyCar race. Daly, of course, looking to win his first as well. 3 of those top 5. It would be a red letter day.
She finished 32nd.
So pits will be open next time round.
A lap down because the leader caught her on that last strip. Christopher Bell, who finished second, he started 31st.
So this is it for Christian Rasmussen. Absolutely now back on strategy with everyone. And Ed Carpenter Racing will go to work battling AJ Foyt.
And John Nemechek, he started 32nd. He finished 6th. They also talked to Ryan Truex, too.
The cars staying out, they're usually up there to get a lap back on the wave around. So those are lapped out cars. And all the leaders now head to pit lane. We'll start with Jack.
The tipping culture in America is getting out of hand. Tipping culture. When you tip your waiter or waitress at a restaurant. See, the top price at the very bottom is how much he paid for his meal, and then the tip is like $15.66. So overall, this meal plus the tip costs almost $90, almost $100.
What's wrong with that?
No.
What's the complaint, Cameron? At least they tipped him.
There was nothing wrong with the restaurant. the guy who ate at this restaurant said that the food was good.
So what are you talking about? With
He was
tipping?
choosing.
What do you make? What
Look.
point are you making regarding tipping? People aren't tipping or what? Yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah, the machine does it for you. So you don't have to go by what they're suggesting, okay?
Okay.
They just make it easy for you to, they do the math for you. So if you just want to do $5, do $5, you know? Just like when you go to sports club, you don't have to go by what it's shown there. If you want to just give $1, just give $1, okay?
Yeah.
That's just a suggestion.
Yes.
And I'm wondering sometimes if those amounts are accurate. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Some people just say, it was 25 and you give 30, just say keep the change. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If it was 36 and all you have is 40, just say keep the change, you know? If you're doing cash. Okay? Or, Cameron, you pay the exact amount by card, then you give them the cash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're around the Honolulu race, the 45 years ago Honda was.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You don't always have to go by that.
Yeah, well,
He's 21.
Too long trying to highlight.
He looks so much older than that.
Lucas or
He looks older than you.
Got a bit of a wiggle race there. But
Yeah, Eric, my follower Eric says that these guys, IndyCar drivers born after 2000, he says they make him feel old. And Gio Ruggiero, who races in trucks, he's only 19. He says, Eric says, yeah, Gio Ruggiero makes me feel old.
Thank you guys.
For the interest and last was also
dropped to Daily State where he was at Ferrucci, Armstrong, State where they were below James 1. Now all the cars that have been allowed down, I've been waiting around, and because there's so many cars down a lap, it's all a pretty busy pit lane here. Scott Dixon rather leading that field. You see Kevin Simpson in the box there while you're playing that Cal And interesting here, these pit stops are going on here in the Scotland Lachlan stop. Not that availability, because the Lachlan stop is actually on review. Wow. Can you imagine if all three Team Penske cars were out of this thing, or at least if McLaughlin was penalized,
still
Simpson is side by side there, Henry Robb. The way Penske sees their it's crazy. I mean, so dominant. They had everything lined up, maybe even for a 1-2-3 tonight. The cars exit pit lane, and it is Lucas who leads from McLaughlin and the Ward under caution. Rasmussen's out the fourth. Connor Daly is fifth. The Kirkwood, Nelson, Ferrucci, and Armstrong below in 10th. Christian Rasmussen has been sent to the rear for hitting under a close pit for emergency service. You mentioned it, if he had enough fuel, that would be a perfect scenario for him. But because we had to circulate under caution for so long before the pits open, I think he probably had to run. He ran out. He had to stop. He had to stop going through the flash, and that leads to falling to the back of the field under full course caution. And what a shame for him, because it looked like that now that he necessitated by the short fill early on in the race. It looked like that was going to be an absolutely perfect play for him. But I'll tell you, if anyone can make up the places today, Rasmussen has looked phenomenal out there on track. And now looking at his anger, the other and Townsend, we were talking about it. Right, there he's on with the show. Guys, don't worry. McLaughlin is falling back.
How far? It's obviously not a dry car.
9 to 27. Yeah, he's gone down to 5th place, I believe. So that's 3 places. So 3-place penalty. You know specifically what the infraction was?
We assume it was pit lane, but
I heard it was a pit lane infraction.
we'll wait to hear.
But what infraction? Was it unsafe release?
Oh, no, look at this.
As well.
Yeah, this was an
What the
NFL game
fuck?
where the yellow flags flying left, right, and center for improper lane usage. This is what we were talking about. It's just going straight to the highline. That's what McLaughlin did on Award.
Yeah, so
I think McLaughlin and Malukas penalized for unsafe release from pit road. So that's going to put Pato Award in the lead. David Malukas and Scott McLaughlin were penalized for unsafe release from their pit stalls, pit box. Yes, they have a jack to jack the car up when they do their pit stop, and then they let go to release it.
You have the fast lane. When you leave your pit boxes, which are obviously right here. Then you've got the transition lane.
It's going to move Pato Award into the lead. No, they dropped 2 spots. All right, here we go. Back to green. Here we go.
I think that's Ferrucci and Herta getting together side by side, but miraculously they both continue. How about Connor Daly up 13 positions and going for the lead to the high side?
He's been working that top lane all night long. The final reward goes to the fin, but Connor doesn't care. He can roll it up high. Can he do it here at 1 and 2?
Daly goes with it now. Around the outside once again. A one more after the fake on the inside. Mercedes will look to go around the high side. Keeping his footing again. And still Lowell holds him off. This is the benefit of a long caution. The sweepers, the track sweepers, able to clean up the high side. And Connor Daly knows that, and he's going to try to take advantage.
You got to time it just perfectly. Pato doing a very aggressive job on the defense. Aggressive but fair. Connor trying to keep him pinned down now. Entering 3, compromises entry. Look at Connor working the steering wheel. About that number 76.
That swing was so close as Overall proactively defends. They're still hitting the oil drive from Newberry's accident. That's where that car was supposed to strike. Connor not giving up.
Side by side all night long. Another big difference. Pato hasn't been able to enter a single corner from where he wanted to.
Taking up this track.
Daly can go to the lead. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, that's really bull. Yes, he is.
Side by side for almost 4 consecutive laps. Just incredible. That's the opportunity to get. Like you said, Johnson, after those sweepers have been out, and now Connor looking to just check out and move up.
And now you have 3 hard-charging Americans who have never won an IndyCar race in the top 7. Connor Daly in the lead, David Malukas in third, and Santino Ferrucci into 7th and looking aggressive.
On board now with Ferrucci looking at the back of the number 26 Cambridge machine from Andretti Global. Bommarito Automotive Group on board.
With 100 to go.
Here's at the back of Herta's machine thanks to Cambridge. And they had big contact on that restart. Let's see if we can get another look at that. We saw tire smoke.
Oh, yeah.
For half the corner.
Fireworks, smokeworks between 26 and 14. Ferrucci's right rear getting into that Cambridge side pod. And his right rear getting into the left front. I've never seen cars rub that much on an oval without crashing.
Got my videos from June 1st taken care of. All right, so Malukas is in third. All right, good. As you can tell, Alex Palou hasn't been a factor in this race.
And his favorite race on that, the Indianapolis 500, ultimately his tires just jumped off a turn 4 and he picked up some vibrations and the race came to naught. But for such a long time at Indy, it looked like it could be coming Connor Daly's way. Will today be his day?
Moving this summer? Move with Pods,
Right here.
the most awarded container moving company. Whether you're moving across town or across the country, Pods brings the container to you. Keep it as long as you like and pack it your own
I think
pace.
so.
When you're ready, they'll take it to your new home or store it at a secure Pod storage center until you need it. And best of all, you don't have to do the driving. Trust Pods with your next move. Look at pods.com today.
Yeah, I'm still holding. If my AC company had agent force, the powerful AI from Salesforce, AI agent would have flagged the issue and automatically help implement someone service it.
All right, Angel's back in Stockton now. See?
It just magically showed up.
This.
Agent force, sir.
All right, so this engine, it's a C44-9WL. It's a very rare CN engine model. You don't see it up here in California. And if you look closely, it's got a belt, cast belt. Its number is 2500, and a lot of BC rail locomotives have, a lot of BC rail locomotives look like this, especially the red, white, and blue ones.
We're at a W. So let them talk. Let's get your basketball. Comes with that performance.
We're Tire Rack. We test tires to provide you with truth, transparency, and unbiased recommendations. We stock over 1 million tires to ensure we have what you need. We're Tire Rack. We work hard to ship your tires fast and free. We offer convenient.
Kitty Walsh just tweeted IndyCar race at WWT Raceway is fire.
Tires matter. TireRack.com, official partner of Team Penske.
See, that's what it looks like.
This is a meal. Melty, cheesy, flaky, toasty. Lunch just got croissant-tastic. Try the new croissant toast sandwiches. It just feels good at the dinner.
Cheetah ear massage.
There's a place no map can show you. A secret spot. A high-performance hideout for cars that crave chaos. And brakes? Check. Roll cage? Check. A spoiler so big it doubles as a picnic table? Oh, you bet. Every apex we nailed, every second we shaved, it's all knowledge that goes right back into the ride. Look like fun? It is. Grit?
Number 100 laps for right here in St. Louis. Connor Daly leads. Pato O'Ward takes the lead in third. And Carl Kirkwood. Stop a lot of confidence. Welcome back to the NTT IndyCar Series. From St. Louis, live on spot. This is where
The before and after picture.
because of where the fortunes are falling. Because the first stop was taken. Can anybody make it to the end on one more stop? Or are they going to have to go through? I think they're going to have to do at least a short time there with the speed three. So guys, we've already had three.
This is the celebration.
Yellow so far. And
When?
Mexico. There goes
Who's second and third?
Bell second, Chase Elliott third. See,
Great stuff. That's what we want. Is guys racing hard all the way to the end. And that's pretty cool that Connor had more speed in the back. But I think we could see from that restart, if there was one driver that wasn't hanging around, it was Connor Daly. So everyone pushing, they will have to make more stuff to show 100% renewable fuel.
let's see. Oh yeah, see that?
Really, people?
Yep, we just spray painted F ice on the.
There better not be a fire department. Come on, people.
A win from his clutches there, or David Malukas. I think that's fascinating.
Yeah, at this point, it's like, are they part of protesters, or are these outsiders? You know what I'm saying? Just trying to instigate, trying to cause more chaos, you know?
Mm.
You're absolutely right, Connor Daly.
Oh,
found
okay.
himself in this position many times in his 124 starts in the IndyCar series. So for him to stay calm, stay cool, hitting the
Who's
bars,
that?
not letting the situation get to you as you get, as you say, under 100
Yes, Cameron.
now riding on the seasons on board with Kyle Kirkwood, who's made his way up to fourth place. Another
Lack
driver
of
that's done a
clothes
great
here.
job on the day. Hogan, another good that's for finish of fourth was in Nashville last season. That would be sixth in the that race rate for so much in this race race has been so impressive this last month. There are your plateau of work there, then Lucas popped up just behind him.
Yeah, I can see.
And for the Lucas guys, 18 months ago, the volumes that was inside with McLaren, it really was looking like the start of something incredibly promising. And then ascent to a position within the school where you would be able to fight consistently for podiums, for race wins, go after championships. And then an accident in the off-season, a broken hand, the tearing up of that contract with McLaren, and him sitting on the sidelines having watched the Indy 500 last year from the stands and looking at his career falling apart in front of him.
Do you want to listen in here?
Yeah, I should get a step. Hello.
This is where you see him reveal the strategist for Connor Daly, having a conversation with his driver and also the numerous engineers that join him on the timing stand. And the conversation is about a couple of things. How much fuel are we going to have left? And Connor, how is the car handling? Is there anything we can do on this potentially last or second to last pit stop to make some adjustments to improve the handling of your car?
That pedal ward is cozy.
It's like he's done this before, Townsend. Dave O'Neill just asked Connor how the car was. He said, not bad, but it's getting a little understeering. They are starting to talk about it, and they asked him to think about what you want at the next stop. They need to get to about 204 to do on one more. They're not going to get there unless there's caution, so they'll be coming in 10 laps or so. But one of the things that we heard Jack say, his report out on midway, Adam Ward said, hey, as this track cools, our car is getting better. The track test's still coming down, and we've seen him able to kind of close that gap to Connor Daly as now the real work begins. It's easy when you're up front with clear track. Now he's got the tail end of the lead lap cars. He's got to start making moves in traffic. This guy's been getting feisty. We saw the action side by side, touching, rubbing with Santino Ferrucci on that restart. Let's listen to some radio from Paul Curtis.
Next week, we're going to a track that Team Penske is good at, Road America. I mean, aside from all the clutter we have, I'm just trying to do my part again, as always. Yeah. I can just get, aside from you being tired and all, let me mute this from Anyways, I'm unmuting.
So, you know,
Water doesn't have to be boring. Turn it up with Circle. With over 40 delicious flavors and a dial that controls your intensity, Circle starts a party for your taste buds. No sugar, no calories, and no artificial flavors. Just good time. Circle, it's your water, your way. Try Circle at drinkcircle.com.
At Mothers, we're driven by the same passions you are, fueled by more than 50 years of purpose and innovation. We're driven by the details, the finish, the shine, the personal style. We're driven by the epic adventures and the simple joys. We're driven to scrub away the ordinary, to reveal the pristine.
You're right.
Because
We
no
got
matter what we drive or what drives us, we're driven to take care of it. Give it that mother's love.
Connor Daly's doing a good job out there. Nice to see different players up at the front of this race for once.
Delicious from every angle. That's the Sauce and Toss chicken strip basket. Get yours now only at DQ.
Challenges are our greatest opportunities. When we take them on, we make our most extraordinary dreams.
I put it there because it's dirty.
All new Passport Trail Sport. Built from
77 to go. Yeah, can't tell who that is, but thank you for moving out of the way. Oh wow, that's close. I can't tell who. Was that Rasmussen?
More protection, more power. That's why Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline removes up to 100% of performance robbing deposits to rejuvenate your engine's performance. Giving your
It's like Rossi just made a pit stop. Yeah, I think they're gonna. I hate to say it, but they're gonna have to pit now.
More performance with every drive.
Damn, what a shame for these guys. With that said,
since the restart, up 11 places, and he is looking feisty, boys. He did not like the fact that he had to come in the pit lane under a closed pit, serve that penalty for it, and now he's on an absolute charge, picking up right where he left off. We are back, and Christian Rasmussen is back in the game. Lap 186. Everybody will have to stop again soon, but let's ride on board with Santino Colucci, right outside the track. As Rasmussen, this is Colton Herta actually.
That was Herta.
Making the move. The restart, they were very close to one another. And nearly contact again.
Santino Ferrucci's got Bommarito on his car. Be fitting if a car with that has the same sponsor as this race sponsor wins.
It's not out of the realms of possibility that Rasmussen finds himself up here fighting with these two on race leaders, Connor Daly and Pato on board. So now we have 4 drivers absolutely in the mix to win their first IndyCar race tonight. Daly, Lucas, Rasmussen, and Ferrucci on board here thanks to Arrow and Pato Award, who is getting really close to Connor Daly. For me, what's so interesting is Connor was able to slice through the lead lap cars, the leaders of the race early on. Now he's struggling to even get around lap down cars, or cars that he's trying to put a lap down, and that's allowed Pato Award to close that gap. Likewise, giving the Lucas now up to the back of Pato Award. So I don't think Connor's quite as happy with his car as he was a little bit earlier in the night. They still have to pit stop to make some slow adjustments.
So one of the reasons for that is that Connor Daly has 47 laps on his tires, like the lead group. It's Christian Rasmussen now taking it to Team Penske. Their last hope. Scott McLaughlin hanging on, and I don't know if it's going to happen. Rasmussen to the inside.
On the inside of Scott McLaughlin, Rasmussen is on an absolute tear. Up to 5th place. Superb. Up 19 places from where he started this race. And Connor Daly has come in for the lead. The driver from Noblesville, Indiana, who has driven for every team other than Penske and Ganassi that's been here, is in position to potentially win for the first time. And he talked about it coming
a lap later. Check out it. Another 5-car award has been absolutely flying today. He's happy with the balance. I asked his strategist to try that. They said there is no fuel saving here. They're going to push as hard as they can. Georgia.
All right, pit stops are happening.
Did they all just see these from the car?
Yeah,
See mine or?
I think they're right there.
This is Jess. She needs her money to work as hard as she does. That's why she uses US Bank.
Yeah, I think, yeah, we watched the Beach Boys one.
Yeah. Yep, right. Meanwhile, it's departing right now.
Well, we can go track it down.
Yeah, well, it's close to my time.
Okay. Okay, wow, how many seeing them?
3 of them.
Well, we'll come back again, you know.
What? Lucas got into the wall.
And Lucas, I think you're right. I think his car might be okay. Excellent reaction from race control. Yellow out here, but under 40 at St. Louis.
You may know me as Antonio, but when I use my Bosch fridge, I feel like I'm building a Bosch there.
Why?
Yeah.
What I use my Bosch power tools.
Let me call it.
What's in the shoebox?
Watch this. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a.
As long as probably forever, there's only been one Frosty. Because what would we even do? Add a bunch of new swirls mix-ins like Oreo cookies or Pop-Tarts pieces? That's kind of generous, actually. For a fresh way to frosting, gotta be Wendy's.
Great. The whole pit stop cycle's all messed up now. If Connor Daly loses this race, I'm gonna be so pissed. But you know, I'm used to disappointment, so why should I be surprised?
When you're a AAA member, you're covered in anyone's car.
They're saying that suspect is probably in Indiana now.
Visit Chase Mobile app. Things move a little more smoothly. Deposit checks easily and send money quickly. That's convenience from Chase. Pick more of what's yours.
Also, I haven't had a chance yet, but yes, I'm gonna make an attempt tomorrow to cash in turn my money in. My birthday money I got.
Okay. Well, just be careful depositing it wherever you're at.
Yes, well, it's usually busy with people. Besides, there's no way someone can pull off something with a lot of people.
Well, no, it's just people watching you. That's all.
There's a flex alert, and Team California is playing it cool.
Pretty cool in the Fort Worth area.
Can they turn it up in the fourth? Man, they're going crazy. Another big win for Team California.
The power is ours.
Fox 40 Plus, available now on Roku, Fire, and Apple TV. The Home Depot has fast, free delivery, so you can get everything you need for out there or in here.
Also, Mario Lopez got served some papers.
Ice?
I don't know.
Twists and turns of Road America, the IndyCar Series next Sunday, 1:30 Eastern on Fox. Looking forward to get back to Milwaukee.
So, you know how there's Grok on here? Grok for Twitter. You ever heard of Grok? Apparently, it's like an engine. It's something that Elon developed for Twitter to give like further context or something. So, it's regarding some legal drama that Mario Lopez is in. It's not regarding divorce or not ICE. It's because he and his wife sued a construction company over damage to their LA homes after heavy rainfall caused issues with their patio and stairs. And the company allegedly did not fix the problem and stopped communicating with them, and it could lead to legal action. Yeah, but I don't like the idea of going to some celebrity's house and serving them paper.
Well, if it has to do with a restraining order or something regarding the court, you're trying to have them come to court. That's what they do. They have to serve you the papers for you to appear in court.
Cautions go up, and cautions breed cautions, as we know. So with a restart pending, it could be a risk to take for somebody. That's on the back end of the lead.
Yeah, Scott Dixon's gonna pit. All right, we're in 60 laps to go now.
Managed to get that hit at just the right angle, but it didn't end his day. And it was just mild enough, I think, to where I wouldn't expect any damage on Malucas's car. So a very fortunate break, not only to just brush the wall, but the fact that the yellow came out immediately to slow the field down. And really, if we lost any positions, it would be mild just to Connor Bailey there. See the fatigue a little bit in the eyes of Kyle Ward. That him personally was just, I mean, this is almost 2 hours these guys have been strapped into these race cars, turning left, very physical here, these fast corners, high downforce, a lot of G-force on the driver's body, it's humid outside, it's a very physical contest tonight. We comment the fact that the Ross Oakley race out close to the Indianapolis 500. We know how tough that is. How difficult is this track compared to the Indianapolis 500? And the hero, you can go, the unique beasts of the themselves. They really are. From a physicality standpoint, certainly, Speedway is going to be tougher on the body just because of those cornering forces, the G forces here, significantly higher than Indy. Indy's still a much longer race, so the mental challenge, it's tough to beat the Indy 500, but this race is tough. And the biggest difference between Indy 500 and this track is the size of those wings. These are the road course wings, front and rear. Absolutely massive compared to the tiny Speedway wings. What does that do? Way more downforce for these things. And it allows the drivers to take bigger risks. The cars can slide around a little bit more. You can get aggressive because you have so much.
I see this picture of the field representing their countries, the class photo.
So Dixon, despite leaving the pits and putting around to the rear of the pit, the rest of the field has now been run through. And so Scott Dixon will be the leader. Afterwards, Towns will explain exactly how this works. Well, because Scott Dixon had yet to make his start, everybody Dixon was actually a lap up to the field. And so that's how Scott Dixon is still able to get and come out in the lead. Let's listen to some more radio.
All right, so all in the way we're running the big food on that. So everybody's getting the lead now. We are getting the lead on. It's staying right.
Well, I know it's your first season in IndyCar, but even Kyle Kirkwood, IndyCar radio, same question you did. How's Dixon leading? He's doing Dixon behavior, man. That's what Scott Dixon is known for. Your new favorite IndyCar series, he's a six-time champion, but he's one of the best in the business at saving fuel. And today, they have put him in a catbird seat with 56 laps remaining. The question is, can he stay there? Because he has not been the fastest car, that's for sure. Smart. They're not pumping up the fuel. Nobody's pumping up the fuel to try and get that nice reaction. You call Lingard be one of those cars that you don't know. If you're at the back end of that lead lap, there's no point not to take a risk. Roll the dice. That way, if there's enough yellow to make it, I mean, but right now, you can make it. Only a small save. Lap 205. That's kind of the get-home lap. 56 laps to go. It would be less than that by the time you go green. So this is a smart call from these cars.
So because he did that with Lingard, Ray Raymond, and Olot. I think it was one of the main tracks to the story. It was. It's Stuart Rosenquist, the number 60. Also Jacob Elder in the 51. Yeah, so Olot, Rosenquist, and Lingard all still on the lead lap there with a chance to pull this off. Taking a bit of a gamble. This is going to signal thanks to NTT data. The car is going to be one to watch on the restart. Arguably a faster car and driver combination tonight than Scott Dixon.
And the tough thing for Pato is that Nolan Steele, his teammate in front of him, lose a lap down. That's not good position. Pato wants to get around him as quickly as possible so he can go after Scott Dixon.
The only thing is, Paul Ward has 14 laps on his tires. Scott Dixon has just 5 laps, but those are just under.
Yeah, it's been 3 years since I last did Keys Road. Just to show you how long it's been.
This is Scott Dixon's 410th NTT IndyCar Series race. He has started more races in this championship than anyone in history. 58 wins, 213 top 5 finishes, 301 top 10s. He is a 6-time
All right, coming back to the green.
who has ever competed in this championship, and he will lead us back to green. Nolan Seaman sits second on track, but he's not in contention for this race today. His teammate Pato O'Ward sits behind him.
All right, here we go.
Now we go back to green and a little bit of a check-up through the final quarter. O'Ward makes the move. Clever goes to the outside. Daly has to appeal to the
We can't. Damn, 4 wide going into turn 1.
We talked about the domination of Chevy in the first half of this race, but now it's 2 Hondas at the front. O'Ward the lead Chevy-powered car. Kirkwood doing a great job getting around the back. He's now on the heels of Scott Dixon. As you mentioned earlier, Dixon hasn't had the best pace so far, but he does have more fuel on hand than anyone else. But if everyone has to stop still, it's 4 points on the line, and Kirkwood now sitting in a good spot. And that was fierce in the mid to tail of the field on that restart. I can't believe there wasn't another caution there. So frustrating. And I was like thinking, Malukas. Yeah, I don't even heard a 3 wide mid corner. That was wild. And that start, I think I saw, I want to say Rocket maybe out of position a little bit earlier than he should have been. The rules of IndyCar, you have to stay in line until the green flag drops and the race commences. We saw him come out of position early. It would be absolutely was a simple question. It was, can you make it to the end? He kind of shrugged. I thought it would be boy. He kind of shook his head, said no. However, there's someone who can make fuel go the distance. It's Scott Dixon. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Always has been, always will be Scott Dixon, but all they need is one more good caution and that's their pushing in a much better position than everyone else. But Kyle Copeland now absolutely pounding the number 9 machine. You see Mike Hall in the top left of your screen there watching on anxiously. And let me tell you, one thing that Scott Dixon is extremely good at is managing the air for the car behind him and not in a good way.
I think Kirkwood's got Siemens, the tech company, on the car again today.
That's where his car's happy, but it also makes it a little harder for Kyle Kirkwood to run that half car width up because Kirkwood doesn't want to get too high into the grade. So Dixon using all of his experience to go back. Kirkwood and his teammate Marcus Ericsson had a good Indianapolis 500, but was removed from the results and thrown to the back of the order. The technical improvement was found after the race. Kirkwood, who sits second today, how much he would love the victory on an oval. He's seen as something of a street race specialist, and let me tell you, he hates that. He hates being seen as a one-trick pony. How much he would love to win here on the oval, but to do that, he's going to have to be potentially the greatest of all time. It's Scott Dixon who leads. Kirkwood on a more complete victory.
So, you like NASCAR but don't know who to root for? Here's some Toyota legends to get behind. Meet Tyler Reddick, crushed it in Xfinity Series and now he's here. Basically, the Cinderella story if Cinderella drove 200 miles per hour. Then there's John Hunter Music, new kid on the block, all gas, no brakes. Oh, and Danny Hamilton. Ever heard of Daytona? He's won it 3 times. No big deal. You have a lot of drivers.
Damn, Scott McLaughlin's race is coming apart.
The best way to experience something in life is for yourself. And Firestone tires were built for getting out there. For 3-day weekends and for testing the waters. Try Firestone tires for 90 days. If you're not fully satisfied, we'll exchange. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
I heard about hand-free sketch and slip-ins for my mates with their hair. You gotta get your hands free sketch and slip-in. That's my app, slip. Alien Butler, give a straight slip-in. I just slip in and they're on. They're bending down, they're touching my shoe. Bad. Try sketch and slip-ins. Ever seen Miracle? Yeah.
Well, there's still time. Let's see what you got. Impressive. I'm fearless.
Anything else, Professor?
Damn, look at that. All the Penske cars are out. Damn, Scott, I think the front row starters for this race out. Damn, their season.
The Globe Ultra, superior light beer.
Moving this summer?
Yeah, their season's falling apart pretty much.
Pods brings the container to you. Then we'll take it to your new home or store it at a secure pod storage center. And you don't have to do the driving. Trust Pods with your next move. Look at pods.com.
Saturday is Baseball Night in America on Fox. And it's an MLB showdown as Juan Soto beats the Mets against Kyle Schwarber and the Phillies. Saturday at 7.
Alex Palou's gone 2 laps down.
Alex Palou and Pat another win to his legendary season. They'll run up the wall in the path, fight for the second flag. They roll down. Absolute brilliance next Sunday at 1:30 Eastern on Fox. Welcome to the fastest racing on earth.
Welcome back to the NTT IndyCar Series live from St. Louis here on Fox. Fans out in force, and they have seen quite the contest. It has been quite the evening. All over to pit. It's very late to go. Scott Dixon leads from Kyle Kirkwood and Pat O'Rourke. But folks, let me tell you, they started this race first, second, and fifth. I'm talking about Team Penske. None of their cars remain in this race. Scott McLaughlin down on pit lane, an issue with injury of rights,
Bailey's pitting.
Very disappointed because we had a really decent good run going, but
At least no Lucas is having a good. So,
and Dixon really hanging on to his race car now. I've seen him start to slide around. His line is getting higher. And Kirkwood's got a shot going into 3. On fresh tires, you can hide an imbalance in the race car. But as we get 20 laps into this stint, the weaknesses in the number 9 are going to start showing. And the strengths of the 27 and the 5 behind are going to start coming to the top. And this is the Kirkwood needs to attack if he catch the back end of these lap bars. Big guys like Kirkwood and O'Ward are going to pit with maybe 15 laps to go if it stays green. If so, you only need 15 laps of fuel. That puts extra pressure on the tire changers to get it done as Connor Daly comes in. Daly had to react to the fact that Rasmussen had come in to stop. I wonder now if any of the front 3 will come in to react to the fact that Daly has come in. Ultimately, on this type of racetrack, you want to stay out as late as you possibly can for the risk of a yellow, and exactly what happened with Scott Dixon happening, where he cycled to the front because he stayed out. Yeah, Connor Daly is going to be a lap down to Scott Dixon as he comes out right now, so that's the incentive on the short ovals, where the lap time is shorter than the time lost on pit lane. The incentive is stay out, hang in there, in case of caution comes. I think with Dixon on the PNC Bank machine has clean air, it's tough to get a run on it with Kyle Kirkwood. But once he catches the next car in line is Christian Rasmussen, who's just about 3/4 of the way up the front straight. That's, I think, when Kirkwood really has a strong opportunity to pass. I go back to the line that Scott Dixon's using here, which is a high radius line. It's difficult for Kirkwood to come off the corner. Kirkwood slides up into that dirty pocket area. The Kyle O'Ward here looks pretty strong running in 3rd. Similar pitch strategy for O'Ward as Kyle.
Robert Schwartzman clocks in a fast lap.
Slightly more laps, 39 laps on his tires. Kirkwood 37. So Dixon with the advantage. Kirkwood trying desperately to get around it. O'Ward's third for Ricci is full. Rita's GK up to 5th. Then Schwartzman in 6th, Erickson 7th, Eilert 8th, Roosevelt 9th, and Lucas 10th. Scott Dixon's doing an excellent job looking after his tires by running that higher line, that bigger radius. Is asking less.
So Kirkwood's coming in.
But he's not asking as much of the front tires in the middle of the corner where you're at peak load. And he almost doesn't want to catch these cars in front because he knows that's going to slow him down. There might be a strategy afoot where as soon as they get to within a certain gap of those lap down cars, they just pull the 9 in and get that final splash of fuel done and dusted. Fascinatingly, though, guys, there is a small clump of cars who came in and filled up while we were on the course just to try and make it to the end if they possibly could. Those cars currently find themselves just on the outside of the lower reaches of the top 10. We're looking at Caramillo in 8th. We're looking at Rosenquist in 9th. They may find themselves in a position to make something, I think, pretty interesting out of this race. It is all going to come down to these last 15 laps, as you guys so rightly point out. A splash and dash, maybe a bit of new tyres as well. And Kirkwood is into pit lane, Georgia.
Kirkwood is going to be one of those cars changing tires as well. So it's going to be fuel and tires, and they did confirm no lane change from his Kirkwood. They're extremely happy with this car all night long. It showed
Gets back out and on his way. Well, you make an excellent point. Looking at the
Dixon's finally in.
is only 17 seconds.
What? What? You have to request this certificate. You're not doing anything anymore. I'm doing everything. Forget about it. Forget about it. He doesn't want to do anything anymore.
Yes, Pina.
Right. Dixon's coming in.
Responding to Kyle Copeland, you saw how powerful that early pin, that uppercut was. Four other drivers earlier in this race, the number 9 machine, NTT all responding. As now Panama Ward takes over the race for now. Jack.
Yeah, Scott, this is still coming down pit lane. When I spoke to Michael earlier, I said, can you do it? He kind of shook his head. I wasn't sure. And honestly, it turns out he was the type possibly. Just don't let it get tight. He's on 50 changes right now, just 4 tires. Heading straight back down pit lane. This is
We've had 17 lead changes among 11 different drivers and 521 on-track passes and counting.
Absolutely critical. It looked like a smooth stop, and he's also headed down pit lane.
The sharp stop of the flag as Ferrucci now inherits the lead still to make his final stop. The question is, though, where is Scott Dixon in relation to everybody that he was battling with? And I tell you what, I think he's behind Kirkwood. He's out ahead of the 28 car, behind the 83, and that puts him
going until March again.
What?
That's what you said.
March of next year?
Maybe because the Pina is going, maybe with the kids, maybe. I don't know. We're waiting until third graduate, maybe next year. That's what I heard. Joey want to go home, but until we just and the mother said, I don't want to let him stay here because when he feels like he's going to die, when he is playing. That's what he said. He told me. So I guess the probably what he's getting now to the increase his paycheck, the paycheck. The one days I turn it on already. You can wear it. It's on already, okay? I have one more rule I give to you, Mama. Don't touch this ring.
Okay.
Where's the thing? Where's the box for it?
It's in there.
Just give him the box so you can put that in there.
I fixed it already.
Yeah, I know. Give him the box.
Yes, I know.
Give him the box.
Yes, there's the instruction.
Yes, okay. I'm trying to.
I remove the thing there already. So it's on already. It's the right time already.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Good, Mom. Thank you, Mom.
The thing is later, that thing, yeah.
Yes, I know.
Bracelet. You can just hang it in your belt or whatever you want to do. You just put it in the thing like that, though.
That's why give him the box.
Yeah, I have it right there.
Don't hang it on your belt or else you'll lose it.
Certainly he's going to have to stop again, but his lap times are looking pretty fierce. His average speed right now is still 171 miles an hour.
His crew are waiting for him.
Now he pit.
Chooses now to jump in. Has been serviced and sent on his way.
I feel the plastic that's covering the face already.
By the way, what a great job.
I put it here.
Running this lead back in the closing stages after starting on pole in his very first Indy 500.
Karen, go grab the box from her.
Yeah,
Great job by Dixon. Traveling to the back up there, and Schwartzman's coming out.
I put the little things that everyone.
Come on.
Cameron, just get the box.
Little thing and everything.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. You put this place.
He still has one stop that he needs to make. Kalamila does not need to stop. Rosenquist does not need to stop. And both of them are 10
Marcus Ericsson's the leader now.
I'm not sure what's going to happen here. That's a question we're unexpected because right now the gap between Callum and Felix Rosenquist on that ultimate strategy is fairly significant, more than you'd normally be able to make up in 13 laps with both of them. That's Robert Schwartzman, Callum Eilot's teammate, just behind him in the other red, white, and green color car is Callum Eilot. And then there's Felix
Wow.
Rosenquist.
Wow. We might see a first time win. Callum Eilot in the 90 for Prema Racing. Felix Rosenquist is right there. He's literally honest. No, don't give him the. Jesus Christ, Polo, get out of the way. Fuck. Oh, that's Ray Hall. Wrong. I like you, but. Well, that's the race for the win right there. Yeah, they're good on fuel. They do not need to stop. Wow. Well, Eilot just sold this race.
Well, you got stuck because of what happened with Ray Hall. It's not over yet. There's still 10 laps. Something happened.
And right now, here is third place, Kyle Kirkwood. He's a second on that faster. And with 9 to go, we are going to have a grandstand finish in St. Louis. Kyle Kirkwood is up to...
Oh, wait, hold up. Rosenquist is pitting. Never mind. Watch
this gap right here. Minus 6.2 seconds, as you said, about a second away.
8 to go. All right, here we go. We got 8 laps to go in the IndyCar race at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Felix Rosenquist leads Callum Eilot and Kyle Kirkwood. Callum Eilot's going to be the leader now. You get... Well, Callum Eilot just sold this race. Shit. 6 to go. Who's that? It's Ericsson.
And Marcus Ericsson is a lockdown, so he can help his teammate Kirkwood once Kirkwood and if Kirkwood gets close here. Now, Ericsson into one. It is on for Kyle Kirkwood. Gonna have to get there. He's gonna have to get around Christian Woodard first before he's even got a shot. You can see them both in the screen. It is getting
First time. No! Callum Eilot ran out. Wow. Well, it looks like we're going to be stuck at 2 winners again.
Yes, Karen. There's a In-N-Out burger for you in the fridge.
Ready to go. Damn, the caution didn't come out. 3 to go. Wow.
You ran out of gas?
Yeah. You should have stayed out.
Oh, he ran out of gas.
I want to see a first time. 2 to go.
Come on, better.
All right, white flag, 1 to go. I was hoping we would get a different winner, but it's not going to happen tonight.
Oh,
Jeez,
hold on, Cameron.
it's over. The Rasmussen. Wow. Well, we're stuck. Gonna be stuck at 2 winners. Kyle. I wanted to see a new winner, and we're not gonna get it.
Well, next race, Cameron.
See, if Rossi can win the Indy 500 on the economy run, so can they. But nope. Gate just.
Yeah, it's all strategy. All these teams.
Wow, even an oval race can't stop. I wanted to see a new winner.
Well, next race now.
I don't hate Kirkwood, but man, Ilott and Rosenquist just sold it. And of course, Connor Daly's chance of a win.
That's yours.
Was it supposed to be Penske's weekend? It was Penske's weekend up until 3 completely separate issues happened to those race-leading potential cars.
Yeah, this was Penske's race, but it all fell apart 3 different times. I mean, the race was good. Well, I mean, thinking about at least Siemens gets to go to the victory lane again. Well, on the road America, Penske's good there. Even no matter how hard they tried, they just came up 1 spot short. Hey, Robert Schwartzman gets a top 10 in the 83 for Prema Racing, so at least there's a take good. Wow.
No.
Yeah, I went round and round.
When?
In Luna, nothing longer keeps going. I could see her everything now in English.
All right, y'all.
There's no one. They're not sending me anything.
Yeah, I know. It's good that they're not giving us anything.
Download the official IndyCar app now.
When I made a mistake of telling you that they didn't select what they want. And now what they didn't prepare, they didn't say about that thing when sent down.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna end off the stream. Good race. And as you can see, no one couldn't do anything to stop Kirkwood. I mean, he wasn't the best car. Undeserving depending on who you ask, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Don't worry, I don't hate him. I just wanted to see a different winner. I mean, Pedal Ward was half a second short of his first win of the year. And how about Christian Rasmussen with that third place? Gotta give him credit. Dixon fourth, Ferrucci fifth, Connor Daly, man. I mean, 6 is not bad, but just think if you won tonight, well, it's coming. VK Polo managed to somehow get a top 10. He wasn't the best. He wasn't a factor all race, so he was the least of my worries. No hate towards him either. Marcus Armstrong. And how about Robert Schwartzman finishing 10th for Prema Racing? Took them a while, but hey, better late than never. So yeah, overall good night for Schwartzman. Rossi 11th, and damn, what a shame for Malukas. Dominated early and came undone. His race came undone the moment he hit that wall and that caution came out. And yeah, that caution that Malukas caused, yeah, it screwed everything up, but there's nothing you can do about it. Damn, fucking Callum Eilot and Felix Rosenquist could stay out. And of course, they had to pit late. Shame. No hate towards them either. But this is definitely a night Team Penske wants to forget, that's for sure. And that wreck with Newgarden and Foster, man, that was wild. But at least they climbed out okay. Never wish injury or death on any driver, including ones you don't like, people. Of course, Ray Hall, just another piss poor performance. But I mean, it's on the team, not the driver and all that, but it is what it is. What happened to Francesco? Did he DNF? I have no clue. All right, that's gonna do it. Hope Road America will see a third different winner. I hope. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Good weekend. Congrats to all the winners this week. Suarez, SVG, George Russell, and tonight Kirkwood. So yeah, it was a good night. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Have a good one. Stay safe, and I'll see y'all next time. All right. Bye-bye.